Yeah, good morning, everybody. Tom Barnard is on vacation all the way until Friday. I heard he was at Burning Man this weekend.
I heard he was too.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I heard he got a group tat.
I thought you were going to say, I heard he got a Groupon and then went to Burning Man.
Same, we got both.
Yeah, you get a 4-day pass and mud tires for free. That would be great.
Could you even imagine him stepping out of the vehicle at Burning Man and the people that would walk by?
Oh, my.
His brain would implode.
Yeah.
He would. I have to wear what? No. Get back in the car. We're all leaving.
I think he'd be like a cartoon where everything would seize up and he'd like start shaking and then the steam would come out.
You know the episode of Seinfeld, and I know because I just watched this the other day, with the apple pie, where he asks the girl, "You want a bite of apple pie?" And she leans back and goes, No. And she won't respond to anything else but no. That would be Tom Barnard walking through Burning Man, losing his goddamn mind.
He pretty much is. I mean, he's in North Carolina. There's also, every time I'm reading news, there's like hurricanes in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Part of me says maybe he's just in Edina taking a break.
A little staycation.
I'm not, and hey, no, more power to you.
Yeah.
Like,
right now, Edina is Al Bundy, just on the couch, hand down the pants. Yeah,
I love that.
All right, let's take a look outside. So I heard some storms supposed to be rolling through before 7 a.m. It is now 7:03, and I saw no storms this morning.
Yeah, prove us wrong, nature.
That's
oh my
right.
God, I'm sorry, nature.
Yeah.
Please.
Stick it, Ken Barlow. Later on tonight, some clouds around 53. On Thursday, sun, highs near 70. And then on Friday, should be nice. High near 76, sun. And then, the weekend as well. I don't know if you guys have plans for college football, for NFL football, but this is obviously the opening weekend of the NFL. And we're pulling out the new outdoor TV that my brother-in-law bought. Because we've been doing that move. It's kind of white trash, but I love it. Where we take the inside TV and we put it outside on the deck
We did
and
that
then watch.
Yeah, we did that in the cul-de-sac for a while, and I can't remember what we were even watching. It felt so trashy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, because for the most part, there's not really a huge difference between an indoor TV and an outdoor TV, unless you're like getting one that's special for like high heat or low cold. You're keeping it out there year round.
Yeah, the biggest thing about the outdoor TV is that it's backlit. So you have an easier time being able to see it because there's no reflection from the sun off the glass. So
are you going to watch football?
Yeah, can't wait. Packers on at 3:15. Vikes start at noon.
It's all Sunday?
Yeah, it's all Sunday, yeah. I think it's a noon game. Badgers are on, I believe, 6 p.m. I think the Gophers have the afternoon game on Saturday.
I think they have Central Michigan, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
So do you guys have it like mounted, ready to go, or is it something you like bring out there?
We bring it outside, yeah.
I like that.
I was in Northeast the other night at the Northeast Palace. You guys ever been to that bar?
I've not.
Oh, great little spot. Kind of cool. Just like a mom and pop kind of dive bar. And they have like an enclosed where it's like the giant, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like a box, and then there's plexiglass. And then you lift it up, and then they lock it with a padlock so nobody can steal it. But that's an outdoor TV that is made for indoor, but the way they have it set up, it works for outdoor. And I took a picture of it and thought, well, that's my next summer project. Is building the box to be able to keep the TV outside year round. Because it is a pain in the ass to haul it outside, but once you get that first beer in your hand and you're sitting on that deck chair and you're watching the game, that's the best.
When I got here and like opened the door and just felt that crisp fall air, I was like, "Yep."
Yeah.
And you put on
football season. Yeah,
your
put my fuzzy little
sweater.
Yep, I'm here for all the football.
We call you Teddy Tevin.
That's
Teddy
fine.
Tevin.
That works. That works
Teddy
for me. I've been called
Pendergrass,
worse.
I attacked Tevin quite a bit this morning.
Oh yeah.
But was an attack, or you just like super sensitive? No, jury's still out.
I love how
Look
you
at the time.
answered your
Is
own
it time for the
question.
break yet?
We're only at 7:04, Tevin.
Jury's still out. You know what?
I now see why Tom is in North Carolina or Edina, wherever
Burning
he is.
Man,
Yeah,
sure.
Burning Man.
In my defense, can I just say this? Can
No,
I just
please
have a
tell us
little
how-
on-air production?
Yeah.
He uses his phone for radio.
No. So you said find some stories. So I go through my little
But
app.
wait, when did I say find stories?
Oh, yesterday. I waited till today.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to
So
be
that's
clear.
fine. But the show started
I
at
was
7.
nice and I was blunt.
The
but
show started
it
at
wasn't
7.
passive aggressive. Everyone assumes.
And the
everyone's
stories
kind
were in before 7. So I feel like that.
the stories. How
Yeah.
many?
I put 4 in there.
Did you though?
Yeah, go ahead and look.
Did you,
And
though?
then I feel like there was something else you attacked me for
You
today.
definitely.
There's at least 3.
I see 3. I just want to go on the record.
Perfect. And then I got an alert.
Also, safest cities in Minnesota.
It's just because we did the dangerous ones.
Okay.
So I just wanted to compare and contrast.
I like that.
Okay?
I actually really like that.
I don't want people to just be fearful. Let them know there are some safe spaces out there.
I like that.
It's not even really an article. He just wrote like 10 cities on a napkin. He's like,
St. Louis Park.
I was actually
yeah.
going through like Google Maps.
where's
Just
Sleepy
put
Eye? That's very
suicide.
safe down there in Butternut.
No. St.
Okay,
Louis Park normally
but can
safe except for in here.
We acknowledge. So you love doing radio. You're great at it. You're very talented.
Don't try to butter me up now.
No,
But
you
let's
are.
go.
You're great at radio. I
Yep.
love being on air with you. So fun. You can't use your phone.
You
was can't use your
not
phone. Rudy,
using my
chime
phone
in.
for the articles, and then I read there was
Wait, you weren't using your phone for the
not
articles?
on air.
What? Wait. You were typing. That was your version of typing.
Right. So I put the articles in the thing, and then I pull them up on the computer.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick, so people know what we're talking
Rudy's
about.
like,
So-
I'm not.
No. So there's a list that we have a Google Doc that's shared that everybody posts stories to that have links, and then Tom can read them, or Brittany can read them, or Tevin can not post them to one of the two. It's 3. It's fine.
Yeah.
But that's what you mean when you say the thing is
Yeah.
to upload to that. So you were taking stories from your phone and then posting it
Correct.
onto the shared Google Doc, and then
Correct.
bringing the stories up on your computer.
Correct.
Okay.
After I yelled at
I
you.
I feel like because no offense to Tom, he's not the greatest with technology.
Whoa. That's a big jump there, sir.
That Brittany then projects that onto me.
No.
And she has hate in her eyes.
Okay,
I wish
let's clear it up. You did tell me you were going to read articles off your phone to begin with.
because it was a solid plan. Yeah.
And I said that's not a good plan. So I was confused today when you could pull in with your phone. You started typing with your phone. I was like, what? Like, you can't use your phone to. But I understand if you're going to read articles after this, fine. I feel like it would be more efficient, but I have to let you do your thing.
Right. I have a process. I have an artistic process to get into the radio
I'm glad
space.
we cleared this up on your last day covering. So, all right. I'm going to have to take the bitch card on that. I came at you hard. But also, are you too sensitive? The jury's
Yes, very sensitive.
No, how's Prince today?
Well, I woke up and he threw up 2 huge piles of his food on the floor and on the couch, so that was fun.
When he ate last night?
Yeah, he
Was
like
he
he didn't eat like at his normal time, and then ate sometime in the middle of the night, and yeah, threw up.
Oh,
all
he
over the place.
grazes like he can eat whenever?
Sometimes depends on what kind of mood he's in.
Because like my dogs eat immediately. Does Paul eat immediately?
The second I wake up, he's at the door.
Yeah. And like eats their food. But there are dogs
and that's
that graze.
normally how he is, but he was just like, yeah.
He's like, I'll eat this later so I can throw it up
Yeah.
on cue. What time?
I woke up and saw it at like 6:15.
Okay.
So it was probably whatever.
Are your dogs catch as catch can with the food? Like, do you just leave it out and they eat whenever they feel hungry?
No.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have a trouble dog sitting dogs that do that.
Yeah.
Because my dogs eat immediately.
Sure.
Right. And like normally that's how he is. Like I'll be like sit and then wait, eat, he'll eat, we're all good to go.
Give him like a tablespoon of food.
No, I give him like one little cube of
He's
chicken.
so little. It always blows my mind. I always think about little dogs. Most like have because I give my dogs a cup each for breakfast
Yeah.
and then for dinner. They have 2 meals.
No, it's like just a tiny little bit and
It's just
good
like
to go.
amazing what little dogs can say. How is Polly? Because he's a big guy.
I just put little pieces of kibble inside one of those fly salt guns, and then I just shoot it into his mouth like a sniper,
Slow and
like
steady.
Chris Kyle into the other side of the living, just pop, 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 pop.
Those salt guns are awesome.
Aren't they?
I
Oh,
talked
the
one
best.
of the restaurants that I used to work at into getting one, and all we did was walk around and shoot flies because it was like it had an outdoor patio. So
and I was also seasoning.
Yeah, of
oh
course.
yeah, you want
Yeah.
some? Tell me when with your pastas. I'm
want
shooting Parmesan cheese.
With or without dead fly. Yeah.
I haven't. They work though, right?
oh yeah, 100%.
Like they'll kill a fly.
Yeah,
Dead
like
on the
not big
spot.
bugs, but like fruit flies, normal house flies.
Yeah. You want to know what else is a blast?
Keeps kids in line.
The electric
Oh, the electric
tennis racket.
Okay.
Why did we have those everywhere as kids? Like they were always like around. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, like in North Dakota and like the cabin and stuff. I always remember being like, people would be like, "Don't touch the center of that." Like I remember vividly.
Wow.
Has anybody touched the center of one?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
will give you a little
Okay.
shock if you touch the two. This is very homosexual what I am doing right now with my fingers.
Oh my god, I'm
If
so
you
glad it's
touch
on
the
video.
two-
Oh, I gotta push. I'm gonna push record right now. By the way. Oh, we missed it. Keep doing it.
I'll keep doing it. It's
Okay,
totally
thanks.
fine. If you push the two things
touch the
together,
tips
if you
together.
touch
Yeah,
the
that's
tips,
how it's done.
right here,
Yeah, work it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Boners Central. Here we go.
Who says we don't support the LGBT community?
Exactly. No, but if you touch like the two pieces of metal, it will definitely give you a shock. But I don't remember those things being around only for like the last 5 years or so. Have they been around that long?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. I remember as a kid seeing them all the time and being like, if I could get my hands on it, the
Right.
things
And like,
I could
I
do.
thought it was always like the rich people that had them because my house didn't have them. So I was like, oh, we're poor with our manual
No.
fly swatters. And
Yeah.
No.
Look at you using a rolled up newspaper.
It's definitely like one of those rich man, poor man probably
Yeah.
falls into there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Ever been shocked by the invisible fence?
I have not, no.
Can't say that. I do remember Ren and Stimpy, their PSA, don't whiz on the
Yep.
electric fence.
But like as kids, we had the dog invisible fence, with the collar, and we'd always do challenges of like, okay, how far you can go, or if you get in trouble, like if you lose a board game, you'd have to put it on you, or like
Yep.
not around your neck, but like hold it and run to the invisible fence. And so I hadn't been shocked in a long time now. Now I'm 37, living my life, super successful, put together person in my cul-de-sac. Everybody looks up to me. The next door neighbor's dog, Finley, gets out and he books it out. He's in love with me. I understand. He books it out and he's wearing an invisible fence. It's really painful to watch him run through it. And I was like, Finley, we got to go back. So I take the collar off him and I was like, Finley, I'm bringing you back. Forget that I have the invisible fence collar in my hand, just holding it tight. And my neighbor Brian's out there drinking coffee. And all of a sudden I'm like, mother trucker, and I chuck it. It shocks me so hard. And they have that thing souped up for Finley because, again, he likes to run through it.
Yep.
I can still feel it in my teeth to this day, how hard I was shocked on the neighbor's invisible fence. And, like, how foolish I felt gripping that thing.
Yeah.
And, like, having to chuck it as far as I could.
No.
Did you guys have games of perseverance when you were a kid? Like there was one thing
yeah.
we used to do where we used to take a pencil and you take the eraser and you rub it on the top of your hand to see who could last the longest, and then it would leave the burn on the top. And then we had another game. A friend of ours lived at an apartment complex called Park Place. Not as fancy as the Monopoly Park Place, I'll tell you that right now. But for some reasons, I don't know how this happened, they figured out that if you walked into the stairwell, there was a water main there.
Yeah.
And if you grabbed the water main and the handrail to the stairs at the same time, it grounded you and it sent an electric current through your body. So we would grab onto that thing and then start counting and be like, yeah. And you would see who could hang on to that thing the longest. And I remember there was one kid, Jordan Kylan, I'll never forget it.
Jordan Kylan.
12 seconds he held onto that thing. And when he got off, it was like he just did 8 seconds on a bull. We were cheering. It was like, yeah, he's got smoke coming out of his ears. He couldn't remember algebra after that, but it was fine. He's a legend.
What's happened to Jordan? Where's Jordan now?
I have no idea.
Is the real question.
He's at Burning Man with Tom. I have no idea.
We had feats of strength for sure. The eraser thing, and then like there was always this. You guys remember the snake bite? That
Snake bite,
yeah, that was a big one. A big thing my brothers liked doing. I had a stepbrother, Dan, who got into wrestling. He was kind of like a shorter guy, but could make weight for a smaller weight, And so he's gotten wrestling, got really into it. It was like his first sport he got really into. And his big thing was going around the house and putting everybody in wrestling moves. And keep in mind, we had 7 kids.
Yep.
So it was like pure chaos. The parents would leave, and immediately it was like you could just hear doors squeak open. And it was like, oh no, like Lord of the Flies type things. So Dan used to like run around and try to put us in these weird headlocks. And it felt very like, Dan, I don't like this. And me and my stepbrother, who's the same age as me, who's gay, to just give you an idea of like our dynamic, it was like always hiding out and avoiding all sort of physical conflict. So we were running from Dan, and it was like a specific one of those fancy living rooms that you never use. That's where I was hiding. And he saw me, jumps in, and I curl up in a ball with like knees near my face. He gives himself a black eye.
No way.
Dan gave himself a black eye. And keep in mind, I'm his little stepsister. So he jumps down to put me in a weird thing, gives himself a black eye, runs off, super mad. The next day, black eye is even bigger. And he looks at me and he's like, if you tell anyone at school. I immediately told everyone.
Everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because he was
absolutely.
2 years older than me. And he made my life hell for like a year. Was it worth it? Yes.
Did you tell everybody that he gave himself a black eye, or did you say
said I gave him a black eye?
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
But like if I was around him, I would always be like, Dan, you gave yourself. He'd be like, you tell everybody to give me a black eye. I go, you gave yourself a black eye. But like, we never got along after that. It was fun.
Christ, it'd be a hate crime nowadays if you did it.
Yeah, it was. I hated it.
Wait, did this just happen like 3 weeks ago?
No.
This wasn't. This is something from the past, right? Okay,
Yeah,
just
I
wanted
hope
to make
so.
sure.
I think I was like in like 10th grade, which makes him like a senior. Yeah, he was a senior. So.
Oh, I would have told the whole school.
I was telling
I'm making,
everybody.
Did they have internet back when you were in high school? Like,
No,
I would have posted on like Facebook.
We had a little bit of internet, but it was used for specific website. There was a website of you could rate people's hotness by their names.
Oh my
But it was
gosh.
like it wasn't easy to upload photos when I was in high school.
So, like, speaking of like websites at school, I remember we're in health class doing a project, and I had to do it was on obesity, and so I was typing in world's largest person, right? Because I was like, I want to find the biggest boned person to put in my project.
biggest boned person.
And
that's what they're dealing with.
Like a week later, I get called to the principal's office.
You seen Brittany walking bow-legged? She's the biggest boned person.
I get called into the principal's office, and
Yeah, I'll high five that. Bone, ready to throw.
And Mr. McMartin, who is like my BFF, like old football coach, whatever, he was like, Tevin, we have to have an awkward conversation about your computer usage in school. And I was like, what happened? He goes, it looks here like you were looking up obesity porn on the school computer. I was like, excuse me? He's like,
Obesity porn shouldn't be that easy to find.
Oh
and
my
they pull
God.
up
like that easy?
like they pull, and all I did was like go to Google Images, like
Yeah.
whatever. But like the link that I happened to click on was like that was one of the flags on it. So I'm sitting in his office. He's got like the timestamp, pulls up the picture, and I'm like,
no.
yeah, I can see how that picture's not great, but
But like, here's the printout that I have on my really shitty presentation that I bought on my three-sided, what is that, poster board? They're foldable poster board.
yeah, I just remember him. I'm being like, hey man, like, do you really think that that's what I was looking at? He's like, no, and I'm like, well, thank you, because I don't want to give off that vibe that that's what I'm out here looking at.
One more memory to unlock that, like, I'm sure all three of us, I don't know, Rudy's kind of put together about his planning. How much panic or the anxiety you have having to tell your parents you have to go to Walgreens to go get a poster board and that's a project that's due the next day.
The next day, yeah.
But I'd had a project in Spanish class where we had to like make a Spanish food or like bring into school. I put it off to the last, like literally 10 p.m. the day before.
This is my big bone Spanish lady I brought in to cook all this Spanish food.
How do you even do that? How do you go, hey, heads up, we got to make a bunch of quesadillas tonight, Mom. A shit ton of quesadillas.
I didn't even.
Like, it's cup open.
Just went to Taco Bell and got some quesadillas.
Oh, I'd be so, like, I have to, like, get myself ready to get so pissed at Gogo about that shit. I also go, hey, parents, why aren't you just buying a bunch of poster board and putting it in the basement? Like, at this point, I don't know how many times we had 7 kids.
Because
in our
you have
family.
to teach your kid that lesson of like we have to panic now, so you in the
Yeah,
future
but you
can't
didn't
wait till.
learn. You
Oh no,
came
I
in at
put some
6:50
tortillas.
to put in
Yeah.
some stories.
I put some tortillas in a microwave and put cinnamon sugar on them and called them some
Velveeta,
chips.
yeah.
Yeah.
Full, like, if I'm gonna be confessing things, I had the same situation. We had like International Food Day, or we're supposed to bring in our own culture of like food. Mm-hmm. And I forgot to tell my mom, so she sent me there with just a bag of popcorn. Like, this is what you get, bitch.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like, and they were so nice to me about it because I feel like they're like, oh, it's Brittany, and I like had like dirt on my face.
No, and ironically in Spanish class as well, we had to do like a past, present, future of like our life story, and I forgot to grab a baby picture, so I just Googled like black baby boy, and my teacher was like, "You were the cutest black like baby." She didn't say black.
Yeah,
She
of
was like,
course you didn't.
I was like, "Yeah, that's using the stereotype of all black people look alike."
Man,
my
you sure
advantage.
used your printer. You sure used that ink on that computer that
Because
year.
I was so black that there just wasn't enough toner
No,
in it.
I
or
meant
is
like
that
you
what
used
you're-
the obesity phone. I was never printing stuff at school.
What?
Yeah.
Why not? What do you just write everything down with a pencil?
I just feel like in general, even my own house, I feel like to this day I'm very like stingy about like printing stuff. But I guess if you had to, But at the time when I went to school, it wasn't an option to print stuff in high school.
I suppose.
Because how old are you?
31.
So we're 6 years apart. Like, technology went pretty far between that 6 years. All right, I'm really glad we had this talk. Oh, you guys made me laugh really hard this morning. I needed it. We'll be back with the Tom Barnard Morning Show podcast. Hey-o.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says riding a bus to school is 13 times safer than riding in a passenger vehicle and 10 times safer than walking to school. The reality of school bus safety is that more children are hurt outside the bus than inside as passengers. Most of the children who lose their lives in bus-related crashes are pedestrians, 4 to 7 years old, who are hit by the bus or by motorists illegally passing a stopped school bus. Please be patient and use extra caution when driving near children and school buses. And never pass a bus when the arm is down and red lights are flashing. The children inside and their parents are counting on us. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in an accident, but if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to a lawyer.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I'm sure glad the miserable heat dome is now behind us, I'll tell you that. Fall may be just the best part of summer. Along with the cooler, shorter fall days, it's one of the best times in Minnesota for landscape plantings. ProTurf did my landscape this spring. Rick had some great ideas for my yard, and they can do the same for yours. A good fall established planting is much more likely to survive a summer drought the following year. A ProTurf certified landscape designer can help you design a landscape that not only looks nice, but will also increase the value of your home. Fall is not only a great time to plant, but also a great time for hardscape patios, walkways, and retaining walls. ProTurf is a Minnesota original family-owned business since 1982. If the weeds in your lawn are out of control, fall is the best time to get a head start for next year. Let them put together a 3 to 5 step program that is safe, effective, and guarantees results. If you want the best landscape on the block, ProTurf is ready to give you your free landscape or lawn estimate and analysis. Visit professionalturf.com and click estimates for lawn care landscaping or schedule an irrigation service visit.
And now it's time for What Did Brittany Say Next? See if you can guess what Brittany said next.
We bought a watermelon. You could grab it on the way out. It was over at Trader Joe's. And I was like announcing it to everybody like,
What did Brittany say next? If you said,
we paid for this.
You're right.
Yep. That's what I would have said.
Now, back to the Tom Barnard Podcast. You are the giving tree when it comes to drops lately. It is unbelievable.
I do remember paying for that watermelon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have vivid memories of it. The anxiety, even hearing that story from my own lips, of walking out and like having to let everyone know that you paid for a watermelon.
Yeah.
Do you guys have the anxiety walking out of a store of, are they going to stop me and think I'm shoplifting?
I actually,
Like when you don't buy anything?
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
shoplift yesterday by accident.
No
my
way.
gosh, please.
Yes, it's so funny. You know how I was like, I got to go get my flu shot for school.
Yep.
Went to CVS and
Isn't
Eden
it an
Prairie.
online class?
I have to do a lab, and also, it's really funny you're saying that.
It's like, wait a second. Do you wear a mask at home as well?
So we have a lab, and technically I've already done the clinicals.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else has to do the clinicals. And I found out, of course, last second, that I have to be clinical ready even though I've done the clinicals. So I have to have all these.
Oh, okay.
So I have to go get my flu shot. So I ran yesterday, went over to CVS in Eden Prairie. It's so funny you said that shoplifting thing because it happened so hardcore to me. So Go-Go has been sick, like always. So I grabbed 2 kid to infant Tylenols because if you know anything about kids, you got to have that Tylenol ready. You can't run out ever.
Yeah, you always have to have a backup. Absolutely.
Exactly. So I grabbed 2, got my shot in the back at the Minute Clinic. They were lovely at Eden Prairie. VA health insurance, they have to deal with all that. They're literally the angels.
When she says at Walgreens, she means behind by the dumpster. There was a guy.
I said CVS.
Trench coat.
That VA insurance really paying off, isn't it? Why are your eyes a little crossed this
This
morning?
is the form I have. It's not great. It's wondering, I keep twitching. It's fine. So I go, I'm leaving Walgreens. I'm leaving CVS. Get in my car, start it, and I look and I go, I didn't pay for these 2 Tylenols. Panic, run back in. Again, announcing and keep in mind, there's nobody working the front desk at all at CVS. Like they have you check yourself out, and then there's like the one person. I'm announcing to everybody, I'm sorry I stole these, but I will be paying for them now. I felt crazy.
Sure.
But like you just go, because I literally have to go back today to get a different thing.
And you're like, what if they remember me?
What if they have me on film, literally? And of course, like, I'm sure I was like, but thank God I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have remembered today, I'd have been like, I can't go back for what I need from there. I would have to go to a new CVS. And to that extent is terrible. Have you ever accidentally stole something?
Yeah, I bet it's happened at Target once or twice because of doing the self-checkout.
Yeah.
You accidentally forget things. But, oh, man, when I was, like, between the ages of 12 and 15, I was a 5-finger discount kid.
Were you a stealer?
All the time. That's all we did was shoplift, yeah.
I went through a very small phase, stole something from Claire's. My I won't say which one of my siblings also stole things from Claire's, got caught, and thank God. Because it was like... They yelled at us, put the fear of God in me, and I was back on my like straight lace course. Well, somewhat straight lace.
Yeah.
So like, what were you stealing back then?
Oh, it didn't matter. Everything. I got busted stealing a Richard Marx cassette. Wherever you go.
You should be embarrassed for that.
First off, love me some Richard Marx, but I was also one of these kids. Like as an adult, my musical tastes swing wildly because I was listening to Richard Marx and NWA straight out of Compton.
You're actually you're open to all sorts of music, which I love.
Oh, we stole everything. I stole hockey jerseys, hats. I stole a lot of shirts from JCPenney's. Here's the other thing: we figured out. Remember the ink tags?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you try to open it, it would spray ink all over the shirt.
I assume that was real, right?
Yeah. No. We figured out how to get those things off.
Well, because it's essentially a magnet, more or less, right?
No. So what it is there's a pin. It goes together like a pin, right? And then the ones that we had, it was a white disc, and then on the back was like a white nipple. That's where the ink was.
Okay.
So when you put it in, the pin goes into the nipple side through the shirt, and then inside there's 3 BBs. And that pin sort of like separates those. And if you try to pull it apart, those BBs come together, and then it opens up where the ink cartridge is, and it pops out. We figured out that if you take the nipple and you take a serrated knife and you cut around it and you pop that little nipple off, there was like a pink plastic gasket that went over the top of the beads where that pin was. You pulled that out, you pulled those little beads out, come right off. So we had thousands of dollars of merchandise from JCPenney's. Oh, people would be like, hey, I went to JCPenney's last night and there is there's a red Levi Strauss shirt in there. I need a medium. I don't want the one.
You guys had a whole ring.
And then we would just go in and steal it. We'd pop back. They'd
But
give us.
didn't they notice after a while?
Right, as you guys walk in with your knives and are just in the dressing room sawing them
Well,
off.
that's the thing. We would steal it and because
Then take it
and
off,
then take it off back at the
Kevin,
house.
grow
Yeah.
up.
What's more fun to imagine? Just him
It's
nervously in
serrated.
a
Oh, yeah.
JCPenney.
Yeah, but the only way it worked is you had to go in once every 4 trips and buy something. So because it's such a small town, people know you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because even like I've acted a fool at not stealing, but like I had an elaborate return at the Eden Prairie JCPenney's, and to this day I'm like, I don't want to go back there. Like it just was like I didn't have any receipts and still wanted to return this vacuum. It was like a whole thing. So like I feel weirdly embarrassed to go back there. So I imagine at a small town, don't you know some of the people working there?
I mean, Hibbing was big enough that we didn't
That's true.
really.
It's
I mean,
not
we were
tiny.
like 15 to 16,000 at the time. It's much smaller now.
Yeah.
But at the time, if you kept going back, you would run into the same people. So that's why you always had to go in and buy and not steal anything, but just buy a belt for $12. And then the next time you went back, steal $300
and return the $12
belt.
And if you knew somebody there, it probably makes it. So when I went to NDSU the year before we got there was this huge Best Buy. Like I remember on my recruiting visit, everybody had like the Xbox, Wii, PlayStation, TVs, DVDs everywhere. They had, so one of the players worked at Best Buy and he worked at the front like checking receipts. And so somebody would go in, buy one DVD and push out like 6 flat screen TVs, all this.
Oh my God.
And the guy, like the alarms would go off and the guy would look at the receipt. Looks good to me. And just out the front door they went.
Yeah.
And they eventually got caught and like blew up in the newspaper and everything. But the coaches, they had our meeting room and there was 2 like 6-foot folding tables in the front. And they're like, hey, we know that this is a lot of you. So we're going to leave for 2 hours. Everybody bring the stuff back. We're going to give it back to Best Buy or donate it or whatever they're going to do. And like nobody's going to get in trouble.
Wow.
Except for like the employees, they all got like, well, I think one ended up going to jail. But anyway, so the coaches leave, come back thinking, okay, there's going to be a couple of TVs. The entire like meeting room was filled with stuff, like the little front area, like because it was like I remember guys having everything. I was like, is everybody on this team rich? Like, how do you have this much
So you
stuff?
didn't benefit from it at all?
No, so this was like the year before. So then when we got on campus, we had this big meeting like, hey guys, like, don't go to Best Buy because they don't like
Yeah.
us. Like,
Oh my God. And the fact that you didn't get arrested, you're like, thank God half of me has white privilege.
yeah,
Because this is amazing.
Right. I think 3 guys got kicked off the team and one, I think, got arrested because he was like the ringleader.
Yeah.
But the football team there is like the pro team. So they kind of helped sweep enough of it under the rug. But yeah, essentially, if you were black, don't go to Best Buy because they knew you were on the football team. And
That makes sense. Yeah. There was somebody recently, I think a quarterback from Ohio just got a DWI.
Quarterback from Hawaii.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ohio, the Buckeyes. I think it was Ohio who just recently got a DUI. And somebody from Michigan, like one of their rivals, had written something about the fact of, I can't remember how it all went, but they said, how dare Ohio have a DUI checkpoint in their college town with that team? Because don't they know that we have to play them in like 3 weeks and it's a huge game and now their starting quarterback is kicked off the team because he got a DUI.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have DUI checkpoints here in our city because we love our team so much that we would never put them in danger of being arrested.
That's amazing.
And someone went, okay, so it's fine if they drive drunk?
Yeah,
it's totally
like,
okay?
Let's not get at anything near the root of the
Yeah,
problem.
right.
Nowhere near the root.
Yeah.
The fact that Ubers exist, the fact that let's not get anywhere near the problem. But like the roundabout of that is so beautiful.
and using it as like a recruiting play, like, hey, kids, come
we
here.
would
We
never.
don't have DUI checkpoints.
Yeah, and
We
it's-
would never.
And it's such proof that as long as the guy is on your team,
Yeah.
you will figure
Yes.
out a way to justify their actions.
Yep.
You anytime like our guy got arrested or whatever, you would go, oh, but his wife antagonized him.
Yeah.
That's why he hit her in that elevator.
I
Or
absolutely- yes.
Yeah, and then it happens to the other guy on the other team, and you go, they should lock that guy up. He should be
To
arrested and
jail.
kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
No, we had an officer that did security on the field that we all became friendly with, and he was like, yeah, if you guys ever get into trouble, like give me a call before you call the regular police. And so I had a friend that got into a car accident, didn't have his license. The car
Wait, like
he was
just didn't have it on him, or
no, like didn't at all, like
okay.
not
Just
legally allowed to drive. The car he was driving didn't have insurance. It wasn't even his car. Like it was a whole mess. And the officer was like, since nobody was hurt, let's just kind of push this into your driveway and no harm, no foul.
Oh,
And so yeah,
my.
we got away. Like my second year there, our house was like the party house. And
Shocking.
And it was I think 6 of us living in this huge house. We had this like 100 people over at our crib. Music's loud. Police show up. It was these 2 female cops. We turned the music down. Like, hey, nobody's getting a ticket. Everybody just go home. And I had a roommate that was huge, like DN. he kind of looks at him and he goes, "Nah, we're not gonna stop." And he closes. I remember he closes the door and they like slid their foot in the door.
No.
And I was like the guy that was on the aux cord, and he looks over and he goes, "Tevin, turn the music back on. We party all night." And I just slowly like, I guess we are gonna party.
Oh, wow.
And I remember like it was Drake's Take Care album had just come out, and so that's what's playing, and he's got one arm on the wall and one arm on the other wall, bracing himself, and you just see his body like pulsating to the because they're trying to get in, and so they ended up leaving. We wake up the next morning. We're about to go to Denny's. We think we just won. Like, we own the town now because we didn't stop partying.
What is wrong with you guys?
We open the door, and an eviction notice falls from our front door.
Yeah.
Like, the city of Fargo is evicting you. And so, like, our landlord calls us, and he goes, "I'm not going to find anybody else, like 6 people to rent this out to. So if you guys just pay cash, I'll tell them you moved out and you can stay." And so we ended up staying the rest of the year and just paid cash. Yeah.
Oh my
It was wild.
God. Did you love living there?
Oh, it was the greatest.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was so much
either
fun.
you fall in like I loved it so much, or it was like too much chaos.
The house was terrible. Like, it was run
Disgusting.
down, and
Yeah.
like the sewage.
Well,
like,
and who's
it was,
cleaning?
Actually, it was pretty clean.
Okay.
It was pretty clean. Like, at least the common area was.
I will say that about single young men now. They've realized that you need to have a clean house if you want girls to come back
Yes.
there. So
Yep.
we've gotten really good about being able to clean it up.
Oh, and
yeah.
especially like the 10 minutes before they're coming over.
yeah.
Oh, I remember it was 4 black guys and 2 white guys. And one of the white guys was on the phone, and he's talking to these girls. And he's like, "Yep, they're going to come over." He's like, asked us, "Is it cool?" We're like, yeah. And we're like, whisper to him, like, "Tell them like we're busy or we're all on our way home. So we have 10 minutes to clean before they get here." And he goes, "Yeah, just give us like 10 minutes so we can clean quick." And we're like, "No." You told him how the
tell them
sauce
to
was
stop
made.
by Mickey D's and get a number 1 supersize. That'll buy time.
My time. No, ask for ice cream cones because you know that the McDonald's one is broken.
Right.
That's amazing. That's so like it's in your life now. Could you handle living in that situation?
Oh,
again?
absolutely not. It was pure chaos. Like, we'd be like, "We're not going to do anything," and people would just show up.
Yeah.
Like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And it was like, "Well, I guess we're having people over now."
And how old were you then?
I'd have been like 20, 21.
Okay, so like some of you were of legal drinking age.
Oh, yeah. Well, that doesn't. You're in college.
No, I know, but I didn't know if it was like because I like.
Oh, and then once we turned 21, we like would go to the bars. So Fargo, there was, I forget what the name of the bar was downtown, but it's one of the 2 main ones down there. If they had a promotion where the temperature the day before was how much drinks cost. And so I remember like one of my roommates came in, he's like, "Hey, do you have a change jar? I need a quarter." And so I gave him a quarter, and I'm like, "What do you need a quarter for?" He's like, "Well, yesterday it was 3 degrees out. Drinks are 3 cents down at this bar."
Oh my God.
We got dressed and immediately went down to the,
Yeah.
and it was, it's pure chaos. There's people everywhere. But yeah, you throw a quarter on the bar and you'd buy a round for the entire bar. It was awesome.
I had such like a flashback in my life going to school last year with a bunch of they were all some of them there was some that were 21, but most of them were 19 and 20. And they would be like, "We're having a party. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Not at all." So they would FaceTime me drunk from their party, and I would like show them me and my husband and baby, and I was like, "You guys, like I can't live my life like, like whatever."
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Show us the baby." And it was like such a flashback of how chaotic you were, but it was so lovely. My husband always thought it was so funny. He's like, "Oh, your drunk college friends are calling." And they'd be like, I'd be showing them the living room. And I just remember this girl, Hannah, who was hilarious. She was 19 years old in college, and she'd always say, there's no cockroaches there. Like, she'd scream that in the background. But I remember them saying, like, she was like, I was sitting next to her, and she goes, "Yeah, I can't wait till I turn 21. And I just remember shaking her and being like, drinks will never be as cheap and it will never be as fun than compared to being at a party.
Yeah.
Like, you don't realize it. Your goal is to get to the bar, and you forget that. Like, you're like, I can't wait to drink legally at a bar. And you just want to go, it's so much more fun at a house. And it's so much cheaper. And the chaos that's ensues.
Oh,
like,
yeah, because we had 4 Locos was a thing back when I was at college.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. And like Fargo, one of the liquor stores had penny wine sales, so you'd go in there, we'd be drinking Moscato because it was like a penny. Yeah. Oh, we're just absolute trash.
It's just like you have this weird goal to get to that, and once you get to that, you realize like, oh, there's like all these rules here, and I have to sit on uncomfortable chairs.
So sad. Like we got this old guy.
It's just so sad. It's just so sad.
Yeah, we had a coffee table in our college apartment that was made out of returnable cases of Miller Lite. And somebody had pointed out one day, because somebody had we had a party and somebody spat onto our coffee table, our makeshift coffee table. And I laughed about it. And my roommate said, there was, I think each case was $12 and there was 10 cases altogether that made the coffee table. And he said, that's a $120 coffee table. And then I realized, oh, you're totally right. Like, don't be spitting on our good furniture.
That's a that's a pretty expensive coffee table for college. I have a vivid memory at UMD where we were at this big party, and at UMD you were always at a big party with in a basement with stairs that were uneven wood planks to get down there, and then the roof was the ceiling was a little short.
Too low,
Yeah, a little too low. And we were on our way out, and this they had like a stairwell on the way out when you left the house. And there was a fight that went down. These two men just started full on fighting, and I was stuck in the corner of the stairs to go outside. So I see that the snowbank isn't that far away from me, so I was like, I'm not trying to get punched. I'm really nervous. Like, as a woman in the military who's been around guys fighting, I get like, I'm not trying to get hurt. I know they can't see anything right now. So I decided to jump off the side into this snowbank. What I didn't realize, it was actually a snow fort, and it was the roof of the snow fort. Oh. So everything went black to me.
There's a bunch of kids in there.
No, thank God. Thank God. They were playing Tea Party. I land on it. Thank God this is like 2 a.m.
Why does the lady smell like Jägermeister? Jump through the fort, Mom.
Right. Her breath smells like my dad's.
I fall through the roof of this fort, and I'm so confused because I'm thinking I'm going to land on a snowbank. All of a sudden, it's dark. I just see like thank God it had a beautiful little like Eskimo type
window,
one of those, igloo, igloo exit. And I'm like, and everyone's like, oh my God, I can just hear people be like, she disappeared into the mound. And I'm like, I'm okay. I crawl out. That whole year, I would hear stories about me. They're like, yeah, at this house, a girl jumped through a fort and ruined this fort and disappeared in the snow mountain. And I'd be like, I'm that girl.
What a crazy bitch that is.
It would depend who it was. I'd be like, oh, that's insane.
And it was because, I'm assuming it was probably like a Friday or Saturday night. So whoever's kid that was didn't have school the next day, probably woke up like, I want to come outside and play in this beautiful fort that I built yesterday. And it's just in shambles.
Yeah. No, sunroof.
Okay. Sunroof, yeah.
I was a little smaller back then, okay? It wasn't that big. I didn't ruin the fort. I just created a really fun emergency exit or entrance, depending how you look at it. It was so disorienting too, because you imagine you think you're gonna land on the top of a snow, and you all of a sudden it's just dark, and you're like, to this day, one of those moments where I thought my soul had left my body. Whereas, is this death? And like, oh no, I'm fine. And the fight stopped because they're like, that woman, that bitch just disappeared.
That's a hell of a way to stop a fight.
Don't fight! I'll jump! I did. And I never came back. And that's not true. I went back to that party. Well, on that note, we've got Kristyn Burtt up next on the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
This is Tom Barnard for Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965, and their name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors, but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. True story. The very best brands live at Niemeyer's. Like the latest from Rockwood by Forest River, #1 in their class, whether you want a tent trailer, expandable, travel trailer, or a fifth wheel, Niemeyer Trailer Sales has it all. Plus, they deliver on the forgotten art of customer service with personable employees, often sons and daughters of the third-generation family-owned business who simply do what they say they will do every time. Come explore their huge selection and consult with RV service pros. You will leave satisfied no matter what you are looking for. The Niemeyer family welcomes you to visit both of their locations in Albertville and Elko New Market before your next vacation. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about my slippers, the Giza sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news! The MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price $79.98. And for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more.
No, you're doing. I'm outros.
Yeah, you're outros. I'm intros.
Sorry.
I had a whole thing planned.
I'm sorry. Do it.
Nah, you ruined it now.
Ready? Welcome back to the Tom Barnard
Nah,
Morning
you
Show.
screwed it all up. I had a whole thing. I was going to talk about the most glamorous closet in Hollywood, but never mind. Instead, let's just bring on Kristyn Burtt because friggin' Brittany just had to,
all over you.
Yeah, bulldoze the goddamn break again. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Kristyn, what's going on in Hollywood?
My cat just even left. My cat left the closet.
Good.
London's like, I am out of here.
She's so mad at Brittany.
Kristyn, I tried to sleep with my foster cat last night.
How'd that go?
Not well. This cat is very much so a kitten and decides at like 2 a.m. it is time to attack my feet 1,000%. But it's still learning like how hard it can bite, and it actually hurt. But hey, I tried.
You did try. Yeah, that kitten stage is brutal. You're like, oh, I have 2 babies in the house.
Yeah.
A furry one and a real one.
Do you sleep with your cats?
I do.
Okay.
But they're almost 10, both of them. So one of them still chases feet, though. He never got out of that kitten stage. So when he wants to get up, me to get up for breakfast, which, by the way, is like 4 a.m., which I won't do. I'll do 5 a.m., but I won't do 4. But he will chase my feet for an hour. It's annoying.
It is so annoying. What is wrong with us?
You have cats. That's what's wrong.
But like, what is the need to have chaos in your life?
I don't know, because my cats are lap cats, so the other 23 hours of the day, they're delightful.
Yeah, so you just
really
take
sweet.
that.
Because I have to take that one annoying hour.
I always think about this way. Like, if you were to tell me I'm going to have a roommate who is going to wake up at 4 a.m. and be like play with my feet, mess with my eyelashes, I would kick that roommate out immediately.
Right, knock stuff off the counter.
Knock stuff off the counter. Like, I have to, there's just like I would never tolerate that. Same with Go-Go. I go, if there was somebody who ruined my life as much as Go-Go on a constant level, I would kick them out immediately. But here we are.
But she's really cute. You know, that's the thing. You fall for the cuteness and you're like, all right, here we are.
Kristyn, how are you? How's everything in Holly Weird, some of us like to call it?
Oh, boy. It's a weird, I'm not going to lie. It's a weird time in Hollywood, just with the ongoing strike. And there's a lot of budget cuts. And it was interesting. There was a huge discussion on Twitter, now known as X, which is the dumbest name ever.
Yeah.
But people were just saying, you know, hey, we realize we're going into a fall of all unscripted TV, but I didn't realize like how small the schedules are because they're cutting budgets. So I think, you know, the last strike we had, unscripted reality TV took off because everyone dumped their money in it.
Yeah.
The money isn't there the way it was even in 2008, which is a horrible time in our economy. They're just really pulling back. So they're going to be reusing things. They're going to be pulling things from other countries. It's not going to be a fun time for Hollywood for a while.
Okay, so is the best way as a consumer to just not watch these things then? Like to give them the message of this, we want you to put money into stuff? Or like, does that then trickle down? Like, tell me how to live my life, Kristyn, is what I'm really saying.
I will tell you.
Thanks.
Now, that was a big question, you know, for people on strike. They're like, should I be canceling my Netflix subscription to, you know, in support of everyone? But the answer is no, because what happens is even if you stop watching your favorite show, guess what? Even those tiny little residuals that the actors and writers are getting will be even less than they already are. So keep watching the content that you absolutely love. My prediction on this, the linear networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, are going to have a really abysmal fall season when it comes to ratings, because I think audiences, they're going to tune in for a couple of things. There'll be a couple of standouts, but I think in general, who wants to watch a game show every single night? Do you need to watch The Bachelor? Do you need to watch a rerun of something you already saw on Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I did find a new show I wanted to tell you about, and I really want you to watch an episode. It's Killing It on Peacock. It's with Craig Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
It is, you guys, hilarious. The writing on there is amazing. It kind of reminds me of Eastbound and Down, the writing. It's really funny, and I think it has 2 seasons right now.
Is the show, I've only seen the poster for it.
Yeah.
Great poster, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's sort of like a Green Acres, like 2 people from the city move out to the country and that's where, or is it, so Killing It, I'm putting 2 and 2 together now. Probably there's a murder in the, God damn it, Brittany, I'm so I'm done
But
guessing.
I like you guessing because I go, should we make that movie?
Yeah, so the planet is in peril and now they must go to Mars. Tell me I'm right.
Okay, you're right. You're right. But that might be a different Killing It. The whole premise around this one is Craig Robinson, who's, I love when, you know, they're involved where they just take their first name. So it's Craig as the character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He is financially like a hot mess and he's trying to make some, you know, moves to make things work. And he gets an Uber driver who's this Claudia O'Doherty, or she's this Australian actress. I've only seen her in one other show on Netflix. She was in this show called Love. Her name's Jillian. They're on their way in an Uber car in Florida, and she goes, "Can you just let me pull over for 1 second?" And she's just this hilarious character. She pulls over, kills a giant boa constrictor with his hammer, and Craig is like, what the heck? And this thing is massive. And they do such a good job of making it so disgusting and so Florida, the whole situation.
You could have just said Florida. We would have
Florida.
We would have known it was disgusting. Yeah.
The vibe is marsh, Florida. And so she gets the snake back in the car, and like he finds out that there's money to be made by killing snakes, and eventually they team up. But their writing is just like, honestly, Rudy, watch one episode. Watch at least 2 episodes because the second one's hilarious.
Well, that was the next plot I was going to guess. So thanks for ruining it.
Yeah. They get into snake killing biz, and it is so funny.
Pull a Tom and watch 4 minutes and then quit.
Yeah, right. Which also works. But then be really mad at me that I would think that you would like
and you wasted his 4 minutes.
Yes.
Is it kind of a dark comedy?
Yes. Oh, it's
okay. I'm gonna love it then.
Oh, Kristyn, you're gonna love it.
Oh, good. I love dark comedies. And, I just read an article this morning that dark comedies are like making a huge comeback, especially in the movie theater, kind of like those rated R movies, like Cocaine Bear, kind of one of them, Joyride, No Hard Feelings, but they're really leaning into it. And I'm like, I would love to see that back at the movie theater because I feel like that's a genre that's gotten pushed aside with every single superhero franchise. And I always enjoy going to a movie to see something like that.
What's so fun about this, and this is a lot of comedies that I really love, is there's a lot of funny dialogue that doesn't necessarily like lead you to where the plot is going, but it's just a funny interaction. There's these characters that are, they pop in and have these little conversations. And there's a lot of shows because the time's so limited that everything is a clue of what's going to happen.
Right.
But this isn't that. Like there are these conversations where you just go, why? Why was that even? And me and Justin were laughing so hard.
I love shows like that or movies where they have those moments where you're like, okay, this was definitely like just one writer was like, this is too good not to put in. How do we like wedge this into the show?
There's just so many characters in this you're just going to get such a kick out of. And I'm telling you, the two main ones, Craig and Jillian, are the characters in there you're going to so fall in love with. They're just so funny. So killing it on Peacock.
Okay, and Craig was completely underrated on The Office. Can we just say that?
Absolutely. He's been underrated and everything because the Hot Tub Time Machine, he was
hilarious.
So
and I mean, with The Office in general, unpopular opinion, like not that great of a show, I think. Like it's one of those where I've never watched a full episode, but I'll sit and watch clips of it online.
You got it. You don't have
but
an
I tried to watch it and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Kevin, I'm not sure we can be friends.
No, take your teddy bear sweatshirt, put it over your head.
I know we don't like to get controversial on this show, but The Office is just average.
The thing is, you can't see them in clips because you don't have the whole vibe.
That's the only way it's tolerable to me.
No, you got it.
Well, not every episode holds up, I think, in terms of like, time has gone by, comedy's changed a little bit, but I think if you watch at least all the way through the Steve Carell seasons, you're getting a solid show. It gets really kind of wonky after that, but
absolutely,
you go through that.
And I think what it was is because it was so popular when it first came out, and I was like, I'm very much so the person that's like, I'm not watching Game of Thrones just because everybody else is doing it, and so I think I took that stance with The Office. And I was like,
Well, I don't know. The thing about The Office is that once you get hooked on it, it becomes that go-to sort of comfort. I read something the other day where people with high anxiety love to watch the same thing. Because they know the outcome already. And when Tevin says he doesn't like The Office, there's one review on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's me.
That did not like The Godfather.
Yeah.
Everybody else, of 4,000 reviews say it's the best movie of all time, but that one guy should never be allowed to review another movie ever again. So when Tevin says he doesn't like
The Office because he's never seen The Office.
I tried watching like the first couple episodes and I fell asleep and was like, I don't get why people are so obsessed with this show.
I got into The Office when it was airing live. I saw like a random, must have been like second or third season. And then I went back after I already had an affinity for the characters because it's so slow at the beginning. But then you got to watch like the British Office is super fun too. That character is hilarious. You just have to like tap in. The thing is, you would love it because you and I love
that's what I'm saying.
Terrible boss.
I'll scroll through Instagram for hours just watching blooper reels and all of like the funniest scenes, and it's great. But then when I turn the actual show on, I'm like, I can't do it.
Okay, yeah, you have to commit. Do you like 30 Rock?
I've seen like one episode.
Because that's another one.
Parks
of my
and
comfort.
Rec?
Parks and Rec is good, yeah.
Okay.
Parks and Rec, yeah. I mean, it all falls in the same.
Yeah.
But I still have trouble watching, so I use The Office as a comfort food for sure, like we were talking about, Rudy. But the anxiety I have with Scott's Tots episode is
that's a little
so palpable. I can't handle it. When I have to skip, because sometimes I'll listen to it for 30 minutes when I go to bed. I'll just put my phone down and listen to The Office. And just like to have something so my brain kind of turns off, so it's like kind of in, kind of out. But if I have the Scott's Tots on while I'm like falling asleep, too much anxiety.
Yeah, there is. We just talked about this yesterday, Kristyn. The show, the movie with Adam Sandler, You're So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. And it's bat mitzvah, right? Am I saying that correct?
Bat mitzvah.
Bat, like a bat mitzvah. Okay, you're so not invited to my bat mitzvah. There is a scene. You watched the movie, right, Kristen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a scene where like there's a bunch of kids and they're out at like a pit, like a water pit or like I don't know. We had iron ore pits up in northern Minnesota, and we used to go cliff jumping. And there is a scene. There is an awful thing that happens to a 13-year-old girl while she is there, and it's so embarrassing that as a 43-year-old man who was watching this movie by myself, I got up and paced the living room and just went, no. But those moments I love when you are so embarrassed for somebody in a fictitious setting in a movie that this is fake.
You can relate
but you
to
can
it,
so
even though you're
relate
not
to
a 13-year-old girl.
Yes, absolutely.
There's that where you have that anxiety for them because of the embarrassment, and then there's like it's the same coin, but it's on the other side of the same coin is like the Mr. Bean of it all, where you just have anxiety because things are going to go really wrong.
Oh, the Mr. Bean when he's diving into the swimming pool from the high dive and he doesn't want to do it, and the episode where Tevin, do you know what Mr. Bean is?
Familiar. I know the concept.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a British TV show. I forget that guy's name, but he was famous. He's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't even when he's not Mr. Bean, he's still great.
Yeah, he was on that rom-com everyone loves.
Love Actually.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep.
It's the guy that does all of the
presents.
Presents.
But there's an episode where he has like a TV and it has rabbit ears. And the only way to get the reception on the TV is to be behind the TV moving the antenna. And then he goes back to watch the TV and he has to let go of the antenna. And then it disappears. And it's this back and forth that happens for 20 minutes. And at some point, I think he ends up watching TV standing on his head upside down because that's the only way he can get the reception to come in.
He just always screwed things up.
Yeah, but it's 20 minutes of you going, because he's hanging out the window.
Yeah.
He's trying to get anything to get this reception in. And it's those moments that's why I love feeling that jello-legged.
I just remember it was like Mr. Bean Goes to the Museum. It was starting. I go, no, I can't handle this.
Oh, yeah. Paintings and tiny T-Rex bones.
No,
and
Mr. Bean should not go to a museum.
You know the T-Rex bones are going.
Oh, God. Like my whole jaw just goes, can't. Like that, it makes me feel the urge to poop immediately.
What?
Urge to poop?
The urge to poop, like, oh God, like that, like
anxiety stomach.
Yes.
Like what?
I don't know if that's anxiety.
Were you the diarrhea person on the flight to Barcelona?
I don't ask how I use my vacation hours. Thank you. Mind your business. Yeah.
All right.
That was a conversation ender, Britt.
Yeah, but
I have that effect. Yesterday I was talking about periods. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm sure the guys loved that.
Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. It's just a fact. Kristen, so we're still getting nowhere with the strike. We've got fall lineup coming up here soon.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
We chatted about this off air the other day, but we are working on getting a contestant who is here in Minneapolis from the Golden Bachelor onto the show. Because I know you said last week you think it's going to be the breakout hit of this fall, right?
I'm watching.
I really do think so, because I think it just strikes a unique chord with a lot of people. I think younger people are like, what does this look like with older people dating? And I think people like my mom's age are dying to watch it because they finally feel represented.
Word on the street is that's moving to Thursdays, not Mondays.
Yes. Okay. So ABC is in a world of hurt with their fall schedule, and they are trying desperately to save it. And so they're spreading out a lot of their shows. Originally, it was going to be Dancing with the Stars, followed by The Golden Bachelor, but they took Golden Bachelor from Monday and moved it to Thursday, and then they took Bachelor in Paradise and moved that to Thursday, so it's an all-Bachelor night. They still have a complete 8 to 11 o'clock hole. I guess for you guys, it's 7 to 10. They don't even know what they're going to air in those hours. They have no clue whatsoever right now. And it's probably going to be a lot of repeats, or they'll cobble together a quick special of some sort of clips. They're going to throw Dancing with the Stars in there a couple of times. I think Dancing with the Stars is going to premiere on a Tuesday and then go back to a Monday. I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess.
We should, do they want to air this video? Sell them the Tom Barnard Morning Show on
we can get this
YouTube.
syndicated.
We'll sell it to them in a second.
Hey, we got 3 hours right there for you every single day.
You're
so
welcome.
many good things to choose from. Exactly. Yeah. But, and I do think like I've said, I'm like, I think that this whole fall season is going to be a disaster. And, they yanked Dancing with the Stars last year off of ABC because it wasn't making them any money, put it exclusively on Disney Plus, but they so desperately need it that they brought it back. And it's going to air concurrently on Disney Plus and ABC this season, but I just don't think that they're going to see the money making.
Yeah, it's
of advertising.
Dancing with the Stars is one of those weird ones where, like, you're either completely 1,000% in it or you literally forget it exists. And I fall into the literally forget it exists.
I keep seeing ads for it, and I'm like, I can't believe they're still. Because is it Alfonso Ribeiro?
Alfonso Ribeiro, and now Julianne Hough is moving in. They got rid of Tyra Banks, who was basically a real divisive personality for that type of show. They fired Tom Bergeron, which was like a big, spectacular firing over Sean Spicer and the executive producer and Tom Bergeron. It was totally politically oriented. And the show was never the same because honestly, I think that they thought the show can live on without Tom, and it has, but the heart of the show is completely gone without Tom.
And because you're a huge fan, Kristyn, right? Because you love ballroom dancing. Oh, I thought you were.
Not. I've covered it for years, so I know a lot of the dancers. My big show was So You Think You Can Dance, which is no longer
I
on
used
the
to
air.
love that show.
Feels like such an aggressive name. So You Think You Can Dance.
And did I ever.
And the dancers, a lot of the dancers that came out of So You Think wound up on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
So it was like a natural crossover. And I still just cover it just because I know a lot of the cast members and everything. But it's a tired show, and I'm not going to lie. And also, it's a show that didn't keep up with the times. They didn't keep up with the social media coverage that it really needed, and they still don't. They needed to rotate their procast a little bit more, like freshen it up, keep things, especially it was on two seasons a year. It's only on one season a year now. And they didn't. So you kind of feel like it's a lot of recycled choreography from a couple people that are kind of maybe phoning it in by season 32.
Yeah. By season 32.
That is incredible.
I've never done 32 of anything. Like anything. That's
32. You're older than 32.
How dare you, ma'am?
I know, but you've done 32 years of life.
Yeah, barely.
Good for you.
Not well.
It's a gift. Every day is a gift, Britt.
That's why we call it the present.
And Kristyn, with all of obviously the strike and kind of networks scrambling, is there potentially anything that could be significantly changed and revolutionized in the television industry as a result of them kind of trying to figure things out on the fly?
Well, I do think we talked a little bit in the movie industry yesterday of what Taylor Swift is doing in terms of skirting around the studios and going to AMC saying, hey, let me make a deal with you. And I think we're going to see, and this will eventually affect TV as well, if people start sort of skirting the main studios and starting creating their own content and doing things independently, it's going to really change who has control in Hollywood. And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are starting to do it with their Artist Equity Studio, where everybody on the set has a stake in the film. That it's from the janitor all the way up to the director. They're all going to get points on that film, and they'll all make additional money, which I think is revolutionary if they can get this model to be very successful. They have so far with the movie Air. So there are things to watch that are coming. And I think that that's really going to be the big deal here because these studios have so much control and they almost have too much control at this point.
Kristyn, I actually am dying to ask you something. And if you don't know about it, you can tell me tomorrow. This Sean Diddy Combs returning the lucrative music rights to Bad Boy Records artists. What the heck is going on there?
Well, I don't know enough to see the legalities of what's happening, but I will tell you that a lot of artists are getting out while the money is still there. And I have a feeling that's probably related to what he is doing because everyone is selling their libraries. Have you noticed this? And they're getting $100 million, $350 million because the money is there. And we know, the music industry is struggling. The entertainment industry is struggling. If they don't sell off their catalogs now, they're going to be worth less and less as time goes on.
And so in theory, what I've read is Did you read any of this?
Well, I saw the headline, and so when you say like selling their music catalog for people like myself that don't know, I always thought that the big thing for artists was I want to keep all my music rights. So then why would you be selling your?
But these
library?
aren't his. These are like, so he has
he
Bad
has the
Boy
rights
Records. He
Oh,
has
okay,
a lot
I
of
see what
their
you're
rights.
saying.
In the thing, like what I read yesterday was he just gave them back to the artists.
It seems like
which is good for him, like a good gesture on his part, correct?
I don't know, because what is going on? That's like, in theory.
But doesn't that keep him out of a situation that happened to Scooter Braun with Taylor Swift? Because that deal wound up going south for Scooter, and he wound up losing money on it in the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've told this story many times already, but my daughter gets in the car, and if we are listening to Taylor Swift, she will make sure that it is Taylor's version and only Taylor's version.
Wherever we're at, if I hear the music, I won't dance unless I know it's Taylor's version.
I'm the exact same way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Taylor
But
Swiftie
she's
for life.
been a game
Evermore.
changer. I don't think Taylor gets enough credit for what she's doing. I think people still see her as like the 16-year-old girl from Tennessee. And she's done a lot of game-changing things within the last year or so that really are changing the industry. And I'll tell you, why is everyone leaving Scooter Braun? Scooter's telling you he's moving up the corporate ladder and not doing management anymore. If you talk to some of the artists, they're all saying it's a mess behind the scenes. And that mess pretty much started with the whole Taylor Swift situation.
Well, yeah, his big thing too is like, if you're with me and you're a big enough star, I'm not going to let you get into trouble because I have other fish to throw out to sacrifice. And so they had a whole expose on an artist who was like, yeah, Scooter Braun would air my laundry, like dirty laundry, when one of his bigger stars would get into trouble to like dominate the headlines. He had all these tactics. And so if you were high up enough, it was lovely with Scooter Braun until, it wasn't.
But Ariana Grande left. She's had her whole cheating disaster right now with Ethan Slater and the Wicked set. And one of the reasons she allegedly left was because he didn't show up on the Wicked set to kind of help her navigate this whole situation. And she was like, you're supposed to be there for me.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. And then, if you take a look at Justin Bieber, he's got, they are in bed with TMZ. I don't know if people know this, but
they're all, I would say people like TMZ is not just catching all these artists and stuff out willy-nilly all the time. Like it's set up.
They're calling, and that happens. My friend works for TMZ, and like literally she's like, I just got a call from this celebrity. I'm gonna go meet them at Craig's and film them. But what I'm talking about is even, I think, more sinister personally. TMZ reportedly owns the racial slur tape that has Justin Bieber going off, and the Scooter allegedly made a deal with TMZ that they would give them all like exclusives on Justin if they put that particular tape in the vault and didn't let it see the light of day.
Dang.
And that's why when you see TMZ and they always have the exclusives on Justin, and it's always kind of a positive spin that they're all in bed together.
Is that is there a legality behind that at all? Or is it just, hey man, it's business, is that you can do what you want?
It's business. Harvey Levin, who runs TMZ, is the founder of it, is a lawyer himself. So he knows exactly what he's doing. And when people always go, oh my gosh, especially everyone was talking the last couple of days about Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas, they're like, is this actually real? And I said, the one thing you can trust with TMZ is that if it involves the court system or any type of divorce lawyer, anything legal, they're going to be accurate because they have people embedded, especially in Los Angeles, in that entire community. They know exactly when the divorce is filed, when the person's arrested, when they're talking to divorce lawyers to possibly retain someone.
So with the Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas divorce that's going down, are we looking at as right now Joe Jonas is leaking a bunch of negative things about Sophie Turner? Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, Joe Jonas is driving this narrative. His people are getting out there and talking about the fact that they think that, she is an absent mother. Yeah. Let's talk about this because that's really
huge. I've heard that from like 4 different people. They go, well, did you know he has the kids on tour with him? Because she won't watch them. He has to bring them on tour with them.
England filming a movie. She doing a TV series called Joan. And so it was probably easier to keep them all together because the other brothers were traveling with their kids and their wives. And it just made sense instead of bringing them overseas and everything. And she was only going to be over there for like, say, 2 months.
And that was the narrative. That was like the strong narrative, because I'm around women all the time, is like that was the strong narrative that was told to me about 3 or 4 different times. So I go, he's leaking things.
How old are the kids? Do we know?
1 and 3.
Yeah,
they're young.
Okay.
They're 2 girls. But listen, she's been home for the last 2 years. She's been birthing babies. He's been touring all over the place. None of us ever questioned why the kids weren't, that he was a negligent father while he was on tour and she was home with the babies. It's a narrative that stinks, but it looks like he's going to try and fight for possibly primary custody. And because he now has set precedent with having the kids over the summer, he may get something like 60% custody and she only gets 40 because of this.
Wow. It's funny. Celebrities, they're just like us, just as petty as us.
Yeah.
I know.
If I could say anything about having babies with people, have babies with non-crazy people. That is the number one piece of advice I can give you.
Should have told Justin that.
Well, there was a girl that I had dated. My daughter's mom and I get along wonderfully.
She's lovely.
Yeah, we have absolutely no problems together. We grew up together.
Yeah.
We lived together. It was fine. It was hard when we broke up, but fine, whatever. Now we do it like tonight. We're going to parent-teacher conferences together.
Yeah.
Because we can do that because we're adults. And our parents, when you got divorced when we were kids, it was all on war.
Yeah.
I mean, they would talk so much shit about one another, and now that's not how you do it. You
No.
co-parent because you realize that it's all about the kid.
Yeah.
And kids don't get screwed up because parents split up. They get screwed up because of conflict.
Absolutely.
And if it's conflict in the house or outside of the house, that's where it all boils down to. But I remember my mom, I was dating this girl who was younger and kind of a pain in the ass and living with me, and my mom did not like her. And at some point, my mom and I got in a huge argument about her, and she said, and I'll never forget it, my mom looks at me and said, if you were going through the same situation with so-and-so as you were with Cammie, your daughter's mom, so-and-so would be taking you to the cleaners right now. And I went, that is so ridiculous. Why would you say that? I got so pissed. I got in my truck. I started driving home. And about halfway home, I realized, my mom is 1,000% right. This woman would be taking me for every dollar I have. So I went home and I walked in the house and I said, I'm selling the house. And she said, well, what about me? I said, you're going to have to figure that out. I'm selling the house and I'm moving. And that was that. And with that, I've never looked back. And I thought, wow, so my advice, have babies with non-crazy people.
I know, but sometimes that crazy doesn't come out until, like, I've seen the most put together people. I've been hired by people as nannies by the most put together people just to navigate that stuff, like the divorce stuff. Because, sometimes that just brings out the crazy in you.
Yep.
But you're right. Like, if it already is showing before all that chaos,
run. No doubt.
Be careful. Exactly.
Well, Kristyn, you don't seem all that crazy.
Kristyn, you want to stick around with Chris Egert? I was going to say Ed Sheeran. I don't know why, but Chris Egert.
A surprise guest. Local artist Ed Sheeran joins the show next.
I want to meet Ed Sheeran.
I have friends in common. That would be fabulous.
Oh, look at you.
Humble brag.
Wow, Kristyn.
My friend, what's that song? We were just kids when we fell in love. That one? My friend's the one dancing with him.
Wow, no kidding, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I nailed it. I actually can play that on piano.
It's called Thinking Out Loud.
She went on tour with him. My friend's name is Brittany Cherry, and she went on tour with him and helped rehearse that, and then they shot the video.
Kristyn, we get it. You're
Right,
connected
you're a big
like
deal.
Legos. We get it.
We're lucky to even have you on the show.
That was such a huge video. I'm proud of her.
Take us with you when you go to the next level. All right.
Yeah, Kristyn, please.
Please, Kristyn.
Hope it's not safe here.
Well, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Is that a normal way to say bye? Bye, Kristyn. We'll see you tomorrow. Tom Barnard Morning Show. We'll be back with the one and only Chris Egert / Ed Sheeran.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say, we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on brand new Bennington pontoon from the Power Lodge, of course. Enjoy sunset from the water. That's one of the things I used to love so much. Entertain the kids and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud, of course. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. You've heard it before. Brittany wants to be a Klingon if we buy a pontoon. I am going to buy a pontoon. I will tell you the easiest way to have a bunch of old friends come out of the woodwork is to own a pickup truck or a pontoon. I became way more popular with my friends and family when I owned a pontoon. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lake in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey. Miller Marine in St. Cloud is the largest Bennington dealer in the entire world. Throttle therapy on land and water, powerlodge.com and millermarine.com. And please do tell them that Tommy sent you.
Don't forget to let his light shine
Right.
in.
I need everybody to open up to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4.
And when God shined his light upon me,
He will heal. He will heal.
didn't realize we were the righteous gemstones this morning.
This is a song that is played at every church I've
Oh,
ever
my
been
God.
to.
Watching all three of you, Chris Egert, Tevin, and Rudy, all dance on camera. Like you're at, that killed me. I don't think I'll stop laughing for like 2 hours.
I feel like right now there should be a youth pastor on a mini bike.
I have a weird crush on who's our counselor that I'm always like, he's just so cool.
Oh, my
Did
God.
you hear what Pastor Michael said today? Like, that's absolutely.
He turned his hat backwards, sat down, and said, "Let's rap,
Let's
kids.
rap.
Let's rap."
Oh my gosh! Speaking of rapping at church, one of my friends, we rapped. Diddy. Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah, you
That's
did.
At church?
At church,
Oh, man.
got in a lot of trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't like that.
Well, I don't know why we had the New Age Church Jesus music playing today, but it's not. I'm not worried about it because I did not schedule that.
I loved it.
I'm
I'm
not mad at it.
No, it was fun. You got an intro over there. I don't have it in
Yeah,
front of me.
news
Go ahead.
brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Ed Sheeran? Question mark?
Well, you said something about Ed Sheeran as you're going to break. I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Well, I meant to say, hey, Kristyn, do you want to stick around and hang out with Chris Egert? But I said, hey, do you want to hang out with Ed Sheeran? And then I corrected myself, and everyone thought, well, it'd be much cooler if we could hang out with Ed Sheeran than Chris Egert.
It kind of sucks because like you're really coming in on a high bar. Like, how can you?
Just sing a song.
Go ahead, Tevin. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead. I was just gonna ask you to sing a song.
I think I came as close as I'm going to come to singing a song by doing our New Age dance there a minute ago.
I did like that quite a bit, Chris.
But I'm going to say something controversial. Ed Sheeran's kind of boring interview.
Interview.
I can see that.
Well, here's the thing. I've spent, I don't want to say an extensive amount of time with the man,
He's
but
got a story.
I do have a story where I sat in a room with Ed. It was just him and I for, 15, 20 minutes.
I'm listening.
Super delightful guy. I do think that when you get him off of a microphone, I think he's very good about being able, because he told a story about he was talking about the difference between American and European radio. And he was talking about how you guys are so buttoned up here in the United States, and then told this story about while he was on the air in Europe, there was like fellatio going on in the studio on air while he was on the air.
Yeah.
And this is a national broadcast.
We are buttoned up compared to that, and I will not try to change that.
And I think
I appreciate that.
And of course, when you pull the mics up and you go, "Hey Ed, why don't you tell that story about when you were in Europe on the radio?" He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." So I think there's a little bit. Somebody coached him up early on and said, "You got kind of a checkered past. You like to drink and you like to shoplift, and you were kind of a troublemaker. So if you want this career to last, you're going to have to go out and play the game a little bit." And it's worked because he's selling out the U.S. Bank Stadium. So I think he keeps himself very reserved.
He's calculated.
Absolutely.
In his reservedness.
Yeah.
I could see that though, Chris. Like, I don't think he's going to give you a great soundbite.
When did you interview him?
Oh, I didn't interview him. I just heard interviews
Oh,
with
okay.
him, and I think they're boring.
Yeah.
You know what else is boring? The Office. I've never seen an episode, but it's so boring.
I agree.
We had a hot take, Chris. Tevin had an announcement that he thinks The Office sucks, and then admitted he's never seen an episode.
I've seen like part of an episode. It's a decent show. It's not worth the hype.
There's a lot.
All right, well, I'm gonna double down on that, Tevin. I felt the same way about The Juror.
I didn't watch the full Juror. I thought after 2 episodes I'd seen enough.
Jury Duty.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jury Duty.
Yeah.
It felt very The Office-ish to
Yeah.
me. I really like the dude. Like the guy's like, oh my God, make this guy like, president of the United States or something. Like great guy, blah, 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 blah. But like after like 7 minutes into the first episode, I was kind of like,
I feel you.
I watched it just because, but
Sure.
anyway.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, if you want to watch something that is along that same vein as like a pretend show where there's one person who doesn't know it's all pretend, watch a movie on YouTube called Windy City Heat.
Windy City Heat.
It'll blow your mind. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and nobody has seen it.
I had a problem with Jury Duty because I kept going, okay, like this, I get the concept, 2 episodes in, and then my like anxiety for that guy just was through the roof, and thinking about what is his life going to be like after this. Will he constantly have a moment going, well, is this real? Like, I think you can't screw with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
I don't know. I'd take $100,000.
Yeah, so would I.
Then every day of your life, you go, is this part real?
At some point,
Wait, is it real anyway? Some of us think it's a
Chris,
simulation.
we just had, what?
Listen,
Put your faith
Let's
in
get
him.
the conspiracies out. Yep.
If next week I walk into my daughter's bedroom and she tears her face off like a robot and goes, this was all a hoax, but here's $100,000, I would say, well, it's been a fun 17 years. I wish you the best, robot.
You are not wrong.
He's like, well, now I don't have to pay for college.
Yeah,
so this was
thank
perfect
God.
timing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the amount you put into that child.
Also, I want all that money back I did pay for all the
Right.
things that you don't need because you are a
Hey,
robot.
daughter, you better be writing me a check right now.
I do want to get back to Ed Sheeran because I will have to say this. Not a huge, I'm not like an Ed Sheeran fan. I don't listen to a lot of his music.
Mm-hmm.
But like A-Team, that song is so good. Listen to that on the ride home, Chris. Don't give me that head shake. It's so, if you just do me this solid and just listen to it on the way home, it like hits your feels, and it's so good. Like, I don't think we got enough credit for A-Team. That song is so beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll listen.
I appreciate it.
Ed Sheeran's music has never hit my feels before.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on him. It's just not my genre. It's a little too peppy and stuff.
Lego House?
I don't know that one.
Oh, you don't know that one? Oh,
I like angry music.
Yeah, that's why you and I mosh pitting a couple of weeks ago. Took his leg off, started swinging it at dudes with long hair and black graphic T-shirts. It was one of the best mosh pits I've ever been in, Chris Egert.
I could see it. I could feel it. I
Yeah.
don't want to do it. I like to cry. I am such I love crying on the way home. And then I'll get out. Like just the other day, Justin was in the basement hitting golf balls, and I went in the basement. He goes, "What's the matter?" I was like, "I just wanted to cry." So I started watching those military clips where people surprise their kids.
Oh, yeah. The dogs freaking out.
Yeah, they'll surprise their kids at school, and they'll be like a teenager. Like there was like a boy with like a baseball hat. It was really cool, and he immediately put his hat in front of his face and cried into his dad who got back from deployment. Sometimes, because I have a certain amount of tears in my body at all times, and like every once a week I have to empty them. Otherwise, I'll cry here. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We watched the end of Rocky 2 the other night, and which I forgot how freaking good that one was. It kind of gets overlooked, but that's where he knocks out Apollo Creed and he gets up and. Dude, I was sitting next to my wife though, so I was refusing to show emotion. As she can attest, I've been that way for the last 23 years. I refused to crack and show any emotion, but he was, and he was doing the thing, and I was like, inside, I was just freaking bawling, but I had to I was just like.
Yeah, sports movies like Rocky and then Brian's song. Oh, you want to see me become a puddle. And then when children with disabilities overcome.
Oh, game over.
That is the one. If you want to see me cry, you go ahead and play Standing Outside the Fire by Garth Brooks. Watch that video.
Oh.
That is a tearjerker.
That is a tearjerker.
Does your wife, because here's the thing, I love when my husband cries. Like, we went to A Star is Born, and I looked over at him when we were dating, and he started crying, and I remember being like, I am so into you right now. Like, so, because I bet you, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I bet your wife likes it when you're emotional. Or no?
Usually the emotion that I'm expressing is not one that
not the one she's into at the time.
It's not like when he opens up the closet, he's like, you put the hand towels on top of the bath towels.
Like, what the? This is kind of a touchy topic.
I feel that. So you want to cry on air right now? That would help us for our ratings.
No,
Okay.
I did almost cry because of Hannah's little baby the other day at the fair, though.
Oh, was Brady so cute?
Yeah, like she had him out at the fair, and he looked just like our boy did. And she was like, doing like the fair stuff with your mom. You know, if you're a first-time parent or you've got a kid or a grandkid out at the fair, like here's sort of some stuff to do. And then somebody's like, hey guys, why don't you give Hannah some advice? And I was like, all of a sudden, I was like,
you tapped into it.
Enjoy every minute. And I started like getting all like weepy, and I was like, oh my God, what happened to you?
Yeah.
So it does happen.
It does.
Everyone.
No, it's funny because if you just say words, but you don't really think it through, but when you start thinking it through, like remembering when that baby was young and, Dakota was young and all these things, when you really start tapping into it, it's so easy to go there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I generally just keep up that good Midwestern shield of never showing any emotion and just going through every day as a stoic robot.
Oh, my husband would love if I did that. Like, he would really just love that. Like, there is something about me that he's just like, why are we crying again today? And I'm like,
he just hears weeping. He's just like, what is it this time?
So, you got good news for us, or Chris, or you got some like Debbie Downer stuff you're gonna come at us with?
There's been a lot of duty in the news today.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Well, there's the Pooh River on the Delta flight that like they had to stop and turn the flight. I'm sure you guys all read about that. But there's a bit of a Pooh River that's developed up in Robbinsdale too over the last 24 hours.
How? What? Where?
That at Armstrong High School, there's some kind of a sewer backup. They were supposed to start school today, and they had to cancel the first day of school because
it's that bad.
It was that bad. It like apparently got into the kitchen and lots of different parts of the building.
They say it's not related, but a new Taco Bell did open up across the street. So
listen to you.
Hey,
that's rough.
Yeah, so lots of poo. And then I was like, why is poo everywhere today? And then I saw the video. Did you guys see the video of the inside of that plane?
No,
there's a video. I know what I'm searching for right now.
It's on Twitter.
It's
on X.
I feel so bad for this person. Like, can't we keep, as I'm searching it,
Right.
can't we keep some things a little bit secret? Like this.
Well, we can keep her or him a secret.
We know it was a him, right?
Yeah,
We've all
we're
agreed.
But don't release their name. But I definitely want to see like how bad it was, where it took them like 2 hours to clean this flight. And I need to see the chaos.
I think that's just. Yeah, have you found it yet, Tevin?
Yeah, we're looking at it right now. Found it on the New York Post. Let's see here.
I had a similar incident. We called it the Pooh River incident at the TV station I used to work at in Seattle. There were repeated poo incidents outside the men's bathroom.
What do you mean?
And
like somebody just pooped outside not outside of a stall.
Somebody obviously was having like some bad gastric distress, and it happened multiple times.
OMG.
And was running all the way down the hallway. Like you could tell the person was like trying to get into the bathroom and didn't make it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw. This is rough. Why am I watching this?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's a lot.
I'm 12. I had to point it out.
No, it's a lot. I do have a strong feeling. This is my advice. If you are currently pooping yourself, stay in one location, centralize that poop. Do not try to go to a second location. It would help.
The dogs make that mistake all the time.
Right?
Unfortunately, come downstairs and you'll see one You're like, oh, the dog had an accident, and then you clean that up, and then you like look around, you're like, oh my dear God, the dog had an accident around the entire freaking living room. Like,
yeah, I know, and you'll have like hardwood floors in one rug somewhere, and there goes.
And the rug, of course, has
Well, it's one thing to say stay in one spot, but Brittany, if you're on a plane,
I know,
in the middle, you're not just going to sit there and be like, well, I'm just going to let it happen. You're like, your instinct is, I need to get out of here as quickly as possible.
I'm just saying, fight the instincts and try to sit still, because like if you could centralize it, I feel like that's the way to go. It's like getting lost in a mall. You just stay still. I know, you guys. I know it's not ideal, but like spreading the love is not where it's at.
Is that what you call it?
Spreading the love.
What was that, Chris? Sorry.
Well, you know, like that's the person you're going to be sitting next to on the flight who has the explosive diarrhea, and then Brittany said he can't move, so you just have to sit there right next to the person, and
I would have so much empathy. That would hit in so hard. I feel like like it.
Yeah,
I know
but
it's
empathy
disgusting.
is one thing, like just your natural body reaction would be to like want to vomit, to have it like that. You know,
I know. I'd be one of those people that like it's fine. It's fine.
No, it's okay, really.
This happens all the time to me.
Yeah.
No.
Next thing
like
you
Billy
know, you got
Madison.
that movie Stand By Me, and people are throwing up all over the entire.
That's what we brought up yesterday.
Rudy
Yeah,
brought
absolutely,
up yesterday.
yeah.
That it was like this chain reaction.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great. Oh, I just feel so bad. I'm just glad we don't know the person, and like they can live their lives, and it better never come out.
And
is all I'm saying.
the worst part is because like there's embarrassing stuff that happens to everybody every day that you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure that person at the store that saw me do whatever probably remembers that, and they forget. Everybody's gonna remember this that was on that flight. You don't just forget this.
Everybody has pooped themselves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna go on a limb and put myself out there and say, don't, Chris.
No. Go ahead.
I felt like you were saying you don't. Everyone has pooped themselves.
We have a discussion. We have a lot of long commercial breaks here, and we had a whole big discussion about this several years ago about how you would like your co-workers to respond if you crap yourself and you're not aware of it. Would you want your coworker who happens to catch it to point it out to you and pull you aside and tell you, or would you rather just not know and go throughout your day not knowing, just kind of being blind to the fact that it was going on?
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants, because you're gonna discover at some point. Like it's like having that booger in your nose and getting to the car. Like it's just better if I don't care who you are, you guys. But first off, how do you not know?
Well, it's just for the hypothetical. Hypothetical, Brittany.
Yeah, it's just hypothetical. It's just a little, you know, you thought it was solid or you thought it was gaseous. It didn't quite go that way. It happens. But not enough to like, well, listen, I'm not going to go check on this. I'm sure everything's fine. But then, you know, you're John, the guy who sits in the cubicle next to you, you get up to go get a glass of water and he happens to see. What do you do? Because that's horrifyingly embarrassing too, right? Like to have a interpersonal reaction, or, you know, a freaking conversation with John who you don't even know. But, hey, Brittany. Yeah. Like John never talks to you. I just want to let you know, it looks like you had a little bit of an accident. And you're like, accident?
John, what do you mean? What do you mean accident?
Yeah. Something in my cubicle or what?
John, I've been trying to talk to you for years. I've been trying to befriend you for years. Like, what are you talking about right now?
Yeah. It looks like you've got some duty on your pants.
What?
And then
Me?
like think how horrifying that. I don't know.
Okay, what did you pick, Chris? What do you want your coworker?
I don't know.
to do?
I want to, Tevin, what do you think?
I would want them to tell me, and also like don't dance around it. I need you to just be blunt, because my reaction is also going to be like, let's make jokes about this and be crude about it. I don't want you to like dance around it, because that makes it more awkward.
You are a blunt person, which I appreciate.
Like, yo, you just S'd yourself in front of everybody.
It's fine.
I appreciate that. Rudy?
Yeah, I think I would want somebody to tell me, not only because I had poop on either my pants or on my feet or whatever it is. I would want to know that they feel safe enough to be able to tell me those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's another big thing, because my daughter has a hard time opening up to me. She'll open up to like family members, And then they'll come to me and go, by the way, this is, and I realize but there's a part of me that goes, I want her to feel that way. You should have a little bit of fear of your parents.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids who don't. So I have no problem hearing it secondhand. But if a coworker never said anything and then went to another coworker and went, oh my God, look at Rudy's shitty pants, I would feel like I haven't given you a good representation of who I am, that I am calm enough that you can bring these things up to me.
Well, and I think it would make you feel like they don't like you too. Like if they would just let that happen. And like you walk around with doo-doo on your pants for the rest of the day and not make you aware.
Yeah.
And then of course you start questioning even just your existence on Earth.
Sure.
Like, dude, I can't even go to frickin' work and do my job making these TPS reports without crapping my pants. Like, why am I even here?
Yeah, I want my coworker to like stand up and be like, "You're not cool unless you shit your pants."
I was gonna say, you guys are missing one element, and that's the element. I want to be babied a little bit about it. Like, I want the bluntness, but then like I, when I work with Lori and Julia, and they come from a place of solutions. Like, if I pooped my pants right in front of them, they would immediately grab one of their extra cardigans. We have like 40 in there, in the studio, and wrap it around me. But like, we got this. Like, I still want some babying on the solution side. No. But then I immediately want us to be able to make fun of it.
Sure.
Pretty much the next day.
Right. That's a good friend. A ride or die will poop themselves right alongside you.
Yeah.
So solidarity.
Yeah, we're gonna Amber Heard this thing together, okay?
And most of my friends do have IBS, so it would work out pretty well.
Oddly enough, it popped up on my feed this morning. When the ads pop up because they know more about you than you know.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, some of those nighttime diapers popped up this morning when I came into work. It's like, can't sleep through the night without, and it showed this woman and she had her little diaper on and like she's clearly slept through the night. She's all like well rested. I'm like, yeah, that's because my phone heard me get up and pissed 15 times last night in the middle of the night.
Enlarged prostate. It comes with age.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Hyperplasia.
Anyway, sorry, that reminded me of that.
No, hey, it happens to all of us, except me because I don't have a prostate. But
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
No, I think that's very relatable. Chris, you never told us what you want. What do you want? Because I feel like it might, we are our coworkers. We should know this.
I don't know, man. It's mortifying. I guess tell me, because I think I would feel worse if nobody told me and they're just like, let you be that guy who had crap in your pants all day and like didn't say anything.
You're lucky because you work with an angel human, and so I'm going to be honest, I don't want any of you guys to tell me, can you have Megan tell me if I poop my pants? That would be ideal.
Yeah, that would be worse for me.
Yeah, because
we know each other so well. I would never be able to look at her the same ever again.
You really think that?
Yeah.
Haven't you done some pretty embarrassing things around her?
Not that embarrassing. I sit next to her for hours. So over the last almost 10 years, think of how many thousands of hours we've sat next to each other. I have never once passed gas or brought any kind of foreign smell to our space. Like, I feel like that would really be out of bounds.
Yeah, I was in Appleton, Wisconsin this past weekend doing shows. My girlfriend came with me, and this is probably the second time we've stayed in a hotel together, and it's super tight quarters.
Yeah, I hate that.
So we got back from the shows, and we had gone out. We had some chimichangas. We're in the green room. We're drinking, and at some point, she looked at me right when we got back and said, "Can you do me a favor and just take a walk?"
Just
take a walk. And I said,
there.
Absolutely, no problem. So I put my shoes on. I went and walked down by the river. I had a beer. You do whatever you need for the next 15 to 20 minutes because I still need to look at you in a sexy manner.
That's a gift.
Yeah.
When Justin lived in an apartment building, I would pretend to go take the dogs for a walk, and I would go down to the lobby and bring the dogs into the bathroom with me to go number two.
Yeah.
Because, apartment building, no. Like, in his apartment, I was a wreck.
Oh, my God. That's the word.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst.
Well, it's horrifying. I had a girlfriend when I was in college that she was staying in, somebody's basement, rented a room out, whatever. And I had to go to the bathroom, and I was in Minneapolis, go into her bathroom, plugged the toilet. And so now I'm already mortified enough.
I just want to die.
And now I'm just sitting there, trying to plunge this as quietly as possible. It was top 10 most.
And then the plunger noise, you go, does this sound worse? Does this sound like I'm doing something?
Turn the water on. Nobody will hear it. So the water's running.
And you go, oh, God.
So much worse. Well, she definitely knows I pooped now. Like, what were you in there for 30 minutes for? Like,
Yeah, right. Oh, I wasn't feeling well.
This is safe space, right? Like, and you guys.
If you can't figure that out by now, yes, this is definitely a safe space.
All right. Because I'm just going to tell a story that was just like the end of my marriage. I was very pregnant, and I thought Justin had gone into work, and I farted really loud, and it was like the most comfortable I've felt. And I hear from the office, "Hey, I've never heard that before." And I wanted a divorce. I was like 7 months pregnant, and I was like printing out divorce paper. It was like, I'll never get. And that was the only time that like I have farted in front of him that I know of, because I feel like, who knows?
You'll get comfortable at some point. You just will stop caring and you'll let her rip. But your marriage is still kind of young.
You probably fart in your sleep or something like that.
I know. Part of me feels like he should just say that, so it's like I can start relaxing a little bit. But like, I don't think it's a big ask. Like, you know how you were bragging about you've never farted in front of Megan? I don't think like that's a high bar to brag about. Like, I feel like you shouldn't fart in front of your coworker.
No, I wasn't bragging. I was just saying, I've never even brought a smell to the table. Like,
she appreciates it.
She can't even accuse me of like crop dusting. Like when I sit down there, we're odor free. Like everything's good.
It's a lockdown.
That's right.
A real.
Speaking of that, I gotta go.
All right, bye, Chris. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We appreciate your professionalism.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for not farting on today's show.
I can't imagine farting in front of Tom. Like, that would be the end of my life. He would be so disgusted.
And that's like one of my big, like, self-aware, like, insecurities, I guess, is like smell. Because there was a smelly kid in my high school that everybody unfortunately made fun of.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to be that guy that everybody's talking about. Like, I stopped playing. Like, we used to play like football and basketball at recess, and I was like, well, I get sweaty. I can't be that smelly kid the rest of the day, so I'm gonna just go sit here at the table. Yeah.
I'm sorry for that. Well,
all right, don't pity me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. It's better if I'm mean to you.
Right.
Okay. All right, we'll be back with the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombarnardshow.com.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on brand new Bennington pontoon from the Power Lodge, of course. Enjoy sunset from the water. That's one of the things I used to love so much. Entertain the kids and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud, of course. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. You've heard it before. Brittany wants to be a Klingon if we buy a pontoon. I am going to buy a pontoon. I will tell you the easiest way to have a bunch of old friends come out of the woodwork is to own a pickup truck or a pontoon. I became way more popular with my friends and family when I owned a pontoon. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lake in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey. Miller Marine in St. Cloud is the largest Bennington dealer in the entire world. Throttle therapy on land and water, powerlodge.com and millermarine.com. And please do tell them that Tommy sent you. This is Tom Barnard for Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965, and their name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors, but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. True story. The very best brands live at Niemeyer's. Like the latest from Rockwood by Forest River, #1 in their class, whether you want a tent trailer, expandable, travel trailer, or a fifth wheel, Niemeyer Trailer Sales has it all. Plus, they deliver on the forgotten art of customer service with personable employees, often sons and daughters of the third-generation family-owned business who simply do what they say they will do every time. Come explore their huge selection and consult with RV service pros. You will leave satisfied no matter what you are looking for. The Niemeyer family welcomes you to visit both of their locations in Albertville and Elko New Market before your next vacation. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
It is 8:55, the Tom Barnard Podcast. Tomorrow, Don Shelby's going to be joining us Thursday and Friday. Also, Judd Zulgad from SKOR North going to be popping on 9 a.m., about 15 minutes. Actually, about 5 minutes from now. I thought it was 8:45, but no, 8:55 this morning.
Don Shelby, do you think he's going to want to talk poop, or should we get it all out of our systems?
I would say probably ignore the poop talk with Don Shelby. He's a little bit more highbrow than...
I would never talk about poop in front of Don Shelby.
Never.
No.
I would never. Like, I'm going to look like a normal person. Like, today was a hot mess for outfit and attitude. Like, I'm going to be so nice to him.
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks for that.
No problem.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this fake nude beach story.
Oh, yes. Okay. There was something amazing that happened in Chicago, and this just went down. Where did I put it? There it is. Did you see the actual sign? So, a fake sign that designated
Loyola.
Thank you.
Sound it out.
Beach as a nude beach was removed by the Chicago Park District over the weekend. Rogers Park beach goers heading to the lakefront over Labor Day weekend spotted a new sign at Loyola Beach in read "Nude Beach past this sign." The sign attached to a post mounted in the sign also included the official Chicago Park District studios.
Yeah, and so the sign looks very
So
official.
legit.
Like it's 100%. It looks like an state employee put it there. But I loved in the article they go, they're suspecting that it could be the work of a local prankster. Just the fact that there is
suspected
a known local prankster running around
A
Chicago.
Bart Simpson, some might say.
Right, and so if you look down like the article, they have other pranks that he did.
Oh, I did not
And this
know
guy
that.
is legit. Like if he ever, I don't know if you get arrested for doing any of this, but I would pay his bail to get him out.
Okay, tell me what he's done.
Other fake signs he put on one was in a park that said a citizen burial is permitted at this park, so like you could bury dead people there. That one popped up May 2021. Another sign also in June of 2021. So this is when the spree apparently started. There was an agricultural notice that mentioned, that 2 horses and 1 other animal were allowed in the city, like as long as it was under 500 pounds. Home birth announcement like taped to like signs. So just putting up random signs all over the place. So he's a serial sign poster.
He's the Banksy of signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the guy that spray paints stuff.
Yeah. This is impressive.
And
the
I'm all
sign
for
is
it.
very impressive. The nude beach one, like he definitely, because before they were like printed things that looked official, but you tied them, to the tree and things like that, like the citizen burial, digging permitted. It looks official, but whatever. He really stepped up his game with this sign, the nude beach past this point. I would like to note in this photo, I feel like they did this very intentionally. There are people in the background, and it's kind of blurred if the woman is topless.
Oh, yeah, I
don't think she is, but I think they really leaned into like, this caused...
It could be, yeah.
We saw old people's boobs because of this, and we will never be over it.
If you've been going to a beach your entire life and then one day there's a sign there that says it's cool to take your clothes off, doesn't a little red flag go off and say maybe this isn't a nude beach?
And if you've been here, because we've probably all been here, this does not have a nude beach vibe. Like, this is very much so in the city.
Sure. Well, because even here in Minnesota, wasn't there the scandal a couple years ago, or not, I shouldn't say scandal, but where like women could be topless at the beach or something, tried to get past or did get past?
Free the Nips was like the big thing.
Yep.
And I think it technically is it legal right now?
I don't know.
Let me tell you a story, because I'm in a storytelling mood. So,
hang on, everybody. Grab your warm milk and your blankets. Sit down.
Fireside
cozy
chat
up.
with Brittany Arneson.
Ma Arneson's going to go ahead and spin a
Gather
yarn.
around, children. I was driving over right by Lake Nokomis, just south of it on 50th. Living my life. There's that school right there. I think either way, on the other side is a park. Mm-hmm. I see this woman. She's full-figured woman, big boobs. She's biking to the right. And I thought to myself, whoa, that's crazy. There's a full-on naked, a topless woman biking. I said, Brittany, fix your expectations. It's fine. Like, the boobs are only sexual because we make them sexual. So I had this whole thought process passing this woman. Mm-hmm. I get closer. It's a man. And a man with much larger boobs than I've ever had, even in my heyday, even in my milk days. So I was like, dang, that was a man. I did not realize that was a man until I got closer. And then I realized, what's the difference then? Let that sink in. Because you go, if I thought it was a woman and it was offensive, and then once I realized the face looked like a man, what's the difference then?
Yeah, they're both, in my eyes, they're both equally offensive. I don't want to see either.
The point is, interchangeable. If women want to be topless, and that was when I really just changed my stance on nudity, where I go, it really doesn't matter. Like, if you're large enough to have boobs and they're out and it's legal for one person but not the other, it's weird.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, if it's John Cena, I don't know if you've seen John Cena without a shirt on lately, but he looks like he has fake breast implants.
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah.
They're huge.
No way.
Yeah.
Isn't he? He was supposed to be. I thought he was always in shape because he's always in like action movies and wrestler.
What I'm saying is they look like fake.
Oh, okay.
They're
I see
so
what you got,
big that they
They're
look like fake implants.
They're wild.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if he did get fake pec implants because it's easier than trying to probably take steroids and work out all the time.
And like, would you ever walk around shirtless?
Yeah, if I go for a run, like I'll run around like the lake shirtless.
Yeah. But do you go shirtless?
Not now.
Not
No,
now,
not
because
now.
it's like how your body is, you're feeling.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure it's fine, but like
No,
that's a mindset of you have. Okay.
Yeah, because, when I first moved to town 15 years ago, I used to run around Nokomis all the time, no shirt on, just a pair of shorts. And I don't know if I've told you this story, but there was once where it was insanely hot. It's like the middle of July. And I ran around Nokomis, and when I got to that spot, what is it? I don't know. It's like a malt shop.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Snuffies. Yeah. Or
No, it's like the almost like a pizzeria type looking spot.
Yeah, I can't
Fat
remember.
Lorenzo's.
Fat
I think.
Lorenzo's. So yeah,
Oh,
so
Nokomis. Yeah.
So I'm kind of not too far from
I
Fat
do.
Lorenzo's, and there's quite a few people that are all milling about, and I am exhausted. I ran twice around that thing as hard as I could because I think I was training for a half marathon. And I got halfway around it. It's 90 degrees outside. And I finally stop and I take a breather and I kind of like bend over at the waist, but I take my hands and I put them on the bottoms of my shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this move where I'm kind of bent over.
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
Tripod breathing.
Yeah, and I'm sucking wind and I look, there's a guy on a cell phone and his eyes are as big as saucers. I can't figure out why. And then I look down and I realized, oh, I have pulled my shorts off of me. And my penis is just hanging in the wind.
No.
And I've never
Rudy.
ran without a shirt ever again.
Rudy, that
since
didn't have anything to do with the shirt. That's nothing to do with the shirt, sir.
But if I had a shirt on, it would have hung down and covered.
Would it though?
That, yes.
You didn't feel a breeze that just all of a sudden.
No, not. I mean, it was a dead wind.
Rudy, it'd
90
be almost
degrees.
worse if you were Winnie the Poohing it with shirt and no pants, or Donald Ducking if you're more formal.
Right.
Like that's almost worse to have your shirt on.
I keep my shirt on so my penis doesn't show. When
I mean, luckily I was sweaty and it was hot, so the guy wasn't like, "Whoa, what's up, shrinkage?" But they're
You
definitely.
think that was what he was worried about? Was the size of your penis
I don't
at
care,
the time?
I don't care what he was worried about. I was caring about what I
Your
was
legacy.
worried about.
Some
Yes.
would call your
that
legacy.
that guy saw Rudy like running towards him shirtless, and he was like, "I think that's a woman running towards me." And then Rudy bends over, he's like, "Oh my God, it's a man! It's a man!"
At first, I
And
wasn't
that's where we all learned
offended.
a lesson. Free the nips. Oh my God, Rudy, could you imagine? You know how like that story stayed with you? Can you imagine that man? How often he's told that
my God,
story?
yeah.
Oh, And that man was Judd.
No, don't include me. I got nothing to do with this.
Poor Judd, your intros have been rough.
Yeah,
coming
not
into
the
some
greatest.
hot stuff.
As long as the technology works today, I'm very happy. Okay,
Yeah,
so
just-
I'm not going to ask for a lot as long as the. I don't have to. I have not gone in public without a shirt on probably since I was about 19 years old. So I decided a long time ago nobody needs to see this.
Yeah, a swimming pool, a public pool. Why at this age? No, like keep that stuff for the kids and the young folk. We don't need to be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly
gross.
right.
My husband, Justin, is in great shape, and he does not want to ever walk around our neighborhood with his shirt off.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that
Yeah.
mentality.
Well,
I don't know why. I just feel like, all right.
Yeah, if you're at like the lake or a pool, like shirtless, that's fine. But yeah, if you're like walking around your neighborhood, that's a little weird, I think.
So
Whatever.
I saw a guy leave the health club last night, and he was buff. He was probably in his 40s or so, but I mean, this guy was jacked, in great shape, but he did it with just shorts on. And he was, I don't know where his car was or if he had walked to the health club, but he was walking out and like literally just had a pair of shorts on. It's like, dude, I understand that you're in great shape, but really you can't leave the health club with a shirt on because you have to show out. So like there's guys tend to do that, and it's just like, come on. Like I'm with Tevin. If you're in great shape and you're at a pool or something, yeah, for sure, go for it. But not leaving somewhere. Come on.
When I rode motorcycles, we used to ride with a guy who was in great shape, probably 50. One of these older guys, super tan, buff. Didn't really drink a lot. But he would ride with no shirt on all the time.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Dangerous.
Even just getting hit by a bug would hurt.
And then we would get to our destination, and he would put a shirt on. This is so backwards. What are you doing, my man? Like, go the opposite direction. I mean, I get when we get
Did he
to
look so like a mythical creature with his shirt off and a motorcycle?
He was a skullet away from Hulk Hogan.
Like, was it like a Daniel Steele novel, just in motion, watching him on a sick hog, shirtless?
Yeah. It just seemed weird. Like, why would you do that to yourself? We saw a couple the other day. I was driving with my daughter, and we saw a couple shorts, tank tops, both of them, no helmets, riding a Harley V-Rod on 94, like that interchange where the Lowry Hill Tunnel is. And I told and it was that day when it was like 103 out. And I said, if you've ever ridden a motorcycle, especially when it's this hot with no helmet, it feels like somebody takes a blow dryer and sticks it right in your face. It is brutal to breathe, and especially all the dust and debris that's on 94. What a dumb move. I get like it's freedom and you should be able to wear whatever you want, but the toughest part about the road rash is if you do crash and you have a pair of shorts on, no chaps, no leather, it's not the road rash. It's when you get to the ER and they have to take the wire brushes and scrub the rocks out of your road rash. That's the most brutal part about it. And people don't think about that part. That's the part where you definitely need to be biting onto a broom handle.
Put me under.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely, yeah.
I love having roofs on cars. Love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The thing I don't get about it too, though, is people that ride. That's awesome. It's cool. But when you ride without a helmet on, or like you're saying, Rudy, shorts and stuff like that, it's sort of selfish to me because if I see you crash, I'm never going to forget that.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good
I'm
point.
never going to forget that. Like these guys that cut in and out of traffic and
know.
stuff. I got no problem with it. If you've got a cycle and you enjoy it, that's awesome. But, when you're being a moron and basically not following the rules of the road, if you crash, which, you certainly can, and I watch it, I can never purge that from my mind.
Mm-hmm.
No, and even if it's not that bad, like I remember I was walking out of work one day and a guy came around the corner on his motorcycle and just kind of like laid it down, like was just fine. But I remember I started walking towards him and he gets up and I kind of yelled like, "Hey, are you okay?" He just gave me a thumbs up, so I turned around and kept going. But yeah, like even if it's not bad, it's still jarring. Yes, because you're like, oh my gosh, like there's nothing to protect you.
Yeah.
But if you ride to live and live to ride, it's just a different lifestyle that.
I always say if you live to ride, ride to live, love to ride, it's a different lifestyle.
And I would get a Hell's Angels vest if I had a.
Also, start seeing motorcycles.
Yep, one of those. Put that bumper sticker on.
Put that bad. I like to
car.
put it on my car just to remind people. I say start seeing everything. I'm super into people just seeing all the vehicles.
Yeah, if you can read this shirt, the bitch fell off. Okay.
That's incredible.
So it's just not funny, and I hate that it's funny. Like it's so stupid. If you can read this shirt, please call authorities. I love my wife. It'd be so funny if it turns into like a plea. She's the mother of my children.
Just super personal, a slideshow of the kids.
So much love and respect for her. Please find her.
Please find her. We've been waiting on child support checks now.
She is the foundation of our family.
They won't pay out the life insurance until we have a warm body. Oh my God, I'm buying a motorcycle after the show.
Oh my God, we have to make that shirt. Just going on and on. Seriously, we met in high school. Hey, Judd, how are sports?
Yeah, Judd.
Oh, yeah, no, the sports are great. Let's keep on this. I like this. So Rudy's back now. He's going to ride. He's going to go buy a cycle. Tevin is going to join Hell's Angels, which I love that leap. I love the leap from, hey, we're talking about motorcycles to, hey, you know what I would do? I'd join Hell's Angels. Run some security scams.
I've never even seen Tevin on a bike.
Okay, first of all, I owned, when I was in college, I had a moped that was like big enough to be considered a motorcycle.
Was it like a buddy?
I don't
That's
know.
why I had a buddy. They're amazing. And
But-
in the cities, they are amazing because you can park anywhere.
Yeah, and I would like drive around. I'll never forget. There was one day where somebody on a Harley passed me, and they did the little 2-finger
the
wave,
yeah.
and I did it back. Oh, I felt like a badass.
Absolutely.
I was like, let me give it a leather vest, and what bar are we turning up at now?
You're like, I'm hard as a rock right now.
Is anybody else hard right now? Nope, just me.
No, hand check?
Yeah, I want to see your Hell's
Where
Angels.
did that go?
Yeah, I want to see that initiation into the Hell's Angels when they're like, "What do you bring to the table?" And he goes, "Well, I can get you some TVs from Best Buy."
Yeah, right.
That's not a problem.
I can put a patch on this fuzzy sweater I have.
Yeah.
I'm part of the Hells Angels now.
I'm going to bring a
I've seen
moped
Sons of
in.
Anarchy.
Here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to be the first Hell's Angel to ever do this.
Yeah.
It looks like a motorcycle, but it's a moped,
Yeah,
and
right.
you
You
better
just
damn respect it.
Spray paint it black,
Yeah,
Vespa.
No, I don't know that they would let my bright red moped into that.
I want to get an e-bike, so I'm right there with you, Judd. Like, I'm going to get an e-bike, assisted pedal, because I'm not that old yet, so I feel like I'm in, right? That would be what I'm bringing to the table.
Should we start a motorcycle gang?
Should we start a
I
motorcycle?
think we should.
I wouldn't be mad at it, especially if there's matching jackets or something we can buy. I love buying stuff.
Hex
Side
Angels.
streets, though.
Yeah.
Side street, of course. Let's not be ridiculous.
I'm only doing side streets, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not doing freeways, and I'm not doing.
Judd-
If it's above 35, I'm out. So just
That's
side
fine.
streets for me.
Yeah, like, wait, what city do you live in, Judd?
St. Louis Park.
Okay, so let's just commit to keeping all of our stuff at Hubbard.
Yeah.
Because then we can at least get places. Because I live in Eden Prairie, so I can't go anywhere that exciting. Like,
All right, this is going to be a lot like that Wild Hogs movie. Yeah, we're just here to like
Yeah.
put on our leather vests and go to Applebee's and get dollar margaritas.
Yeah, we went and took a trip. I got 3 guys I take a bi-yearly trip with, some of my best friends, and
I mean, twice a year or every 2 years?
bi-yearly. So every 2 years we
Just
take a trip.
clarifying,
Yeah.
because it could be either.
And what am I, Mr. Moneybags? Jesus Christ!
I don't know. You go a lot of places.
But we went to Vancouver and we all rented bicycles and sent a picture back to our friends and family. And one of the wives had written back, "You guys look like the Wild Hogs."
That's so good.
now there's a group text, the Wild Hogs, and that's everywhere we go. We put that. There's a whole Instagram thread of Wild Hogs where we've been.
Oh, when Allie gets on at 9:30, I do have to tell you guys one time at Lake Harriet, we rented tandem bikes. You'll never feel more alive than riding around the city with your BFF on a tandem bike. Highly encourage you to
Come
do
and
it.
knock on our door.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm out on tandem bike.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, you'll get a scooter, but
I
you
don't
won't-
want to feel alive.
No.
That's fine.
Tandem bikes and pedal pubs, I'm out on.
You know what? Start seeing tandem bikes. Start seeing them. Like the start seeing
No,
them.
I don't
That's
want
the
to.
bumper
I ignore
sticker.
them on purpose.
If you can read this shirt, oh my God, I'm riding a tandem bike by myself.
Where is Allie? I love her so much. If you can see that. I would never rent this alone. Who am I? If you can see the shirt, please jump on the back. It's really hard to ride a tandem bike alone.
Doing the work of 2 people.
Are tandem bikes still a thing?
Oh, I saw one the other day in
So
South
did I.
Minneapolis. Absolutely.
I saw one that was
Okay.
for off-roading, like not like a street one.
No.
It was, oh my God, I almost want to call Justin. We are on our way to Chaska for our urgent care visit on Monday, and we saw a tandem bike where we go, wow, that looks like you can off-road with that one. It was right next to a trail.
Like get a tandem bike with like put pegs on the back as well. So if you
Whoa, how many friends do you have,
Taking
sir?
an vert ramp like a BMX
Right.
bike.
Jeez.
Also, Blue Cross Blue Shield had that like 10-person bike they were riding around the state. Remember those commercials?
Yeah.
There was, I had Blue Cross Blue Shield at the time, and I thought, could you please get rid of the bike and lower my premiums? We
Yeah.
don't need a 10-person bike when I'm paying $400 a month for health insurance.
Be honest. Radio and job things excluded. How many seats on a bike could you fill pretty easily in one day? With like, someone's like, we'll give you as many seats on this bike as you can fill with friends today.
You're just trying to ask everybody how many friends they have?
I could do.
It'd be me.
Judd, at least your wife would. You could talk her
It's a
into jumping
unicycle.
on.
No, she wouldn't. Are you kidding?
I actually-
She wouldn't get on a tandem bike with me, nor would I with her. That seems like a fight waiting to happen.
Okay, fine. You can have Phil. Would Phil go on with you, or?
I don't want Phil on
Yeah, you
my
can
bike.
work that into
Whoa!
some like promo for your
Yeah,
show
'cause
for SKOR North. Yeah.
He's a radio guy. You said
Declan?
non-radio.
Fine, but-
I think I'm SOL, to be honest with you.
Oh, one-person bike. That's super
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Judd, let me ask you, what's the dorkiest thing you and your wife do together? Like, do you
Yeah.
guys ever have matching shirts at the Ren Fest, or if you go to the ball game, do you guys both have jerseys that say Zulgad on the back?
No, nothing.
Nothing
no,
like that?
No, she'll wear, if she goes to a game, a sporting event, she will try to purposely color coordinate with the home team, like a Gophers game or a Twins game.
Okay.
I, of course, do not, just because I don't care about that. Boy, that's a good question. I don't know that we have, for as old as we are, it would seem like we should have dorky stuff, but I don't know that we really do. Mm-hmm. That's a great one.
Yeah. I asked that question to a lot of couples because when we went to Disney, I can't tell you how many couples I saw with the Mickey hand pointing to the direction of the wife, and it said, I'm hers, but then she had the shirt on with the Mickey hand pointing at him that said, I'm his.
Justin would never.
Never. Not in a million
Justin would
years. No.
never.
No.
And like I
Why?
respect. Justin would literally never. And like you guys know that I would do anything to feel a part of a group. If you guys said today, Brittany, we will get group tats and like it will be whatever Judd picks out, I would do it. Like I am such. Like if you said we are.
Judd, pick out a tattoo quick.
If I am in, like I want to feel closer to everybody all the time, always. I'm really disgusting that way.
Can I ask why?
Oh, because I just want, like, I have terrible boundaries.
Did you not have friends in high school? Is this like a...
I just always feel like
Deep-rooted?
everybody is this close to being my best friend if I try hard enough. Like, Rudy, how...
You're the worst.
you know this. Rudy,
And you don't drink.
No.
Like this sounds like a drinking thing. You know, you're that great.
No, like, Rudy,
But then
have I
sober up and I'm
incepted
like,
your
no,
life
you're
or
really
not?
not. Sorry, bye.
Yeah.
I've incepted your life, Rudy. Tevin, have I tried to be your best friend for 10 years now?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, it's a problem I have. I get that. Like, I have terrible boundaries. Justin is completely opposite, which, like, I need in my life because otherwise we would just be, like, sitting on each other's lap, braiding each other's hair all the time. Like, but the corniest thing we do as a couple is we get in the convertible, the Corvette, and we go to Dairy Queen, and then we park in this abandoned Burger King parking lot, and we sit and eat our Dairy Queen together.
That's not bad. It's fine. I mean, if the car was wrapped in DQ Blizzard graphics, then I would say
Yeah,
yes.
right.
You've taken it a step far.
We call it...
Why don't you just go home?
I see, Judd. Romance is dead in your life.
It's a great drop. Just go home.
Why don't you
Why don't you just go home and eat? I mean, that's what we do. Like Dawn loves the McDonald's ice cream cone.
Yeah.
So I'll go get one or two sometimes, and then just go home and we'll give a little bit to the dog, and then we're done, and
Yeah.
everybody's happy.
This is our big date night as we go to our date night point, our little romance parking
When
lot.
you do have a kid, you do have a kid, so it keeps you away from the kid for a little bit because
Sure.
we don't have kids, so.
Yeah. Well,
That
we
makes
did this
some
before
sense.
the kid, but
He's trying to make
all
you
right.
feel better. Don't ruin
I
the
appreciate Judd.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
we-
trying to help you out.
Are we becoming best friends, Judd?
Here you go.
No, he says no.
No, that's a definite no.
It's fine. I love rejection. All right, we'll be back with the Tom Barnard Morning Show with more with Judd, my BFF to come.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombarnardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
I am so happy to welcome back our longtime friend Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to the show. I've known Steve, the owner, for many years, and I completely trust Sabre to keep my house comfortable. Why? Sabre does everything the right way, and they always put the customer first. I love the team at Sabre because their service experts are experienced NATE certified technicians. They're not salespeople. Their pricing is completely upfront, and they fix only what needs to be fixed, nothing more. Sabre is dedicated to giving customers what they need when they need it and at the fair price, keeping your family safe and comfortable without breaking the bank. Give Sabre Heating and Air Conditioning a try. I know they'll take care of you just like they've taken care of me and my family. Whether you need a new Bryant furnace or air conditioner replaced or just simply need a service call to get you going again, go to saberheating.com. That's S-A-B-R-E heating.com. Sabre and Bryant, whatever it takes.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about my slippers, the Giza sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news! The MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price $79.98. And for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more.
Tom is back, but not going to be back until Monday. He's out on vacation right now. Myself, Brittany Arneson, Tevin Pittman talking to Judd Zulgad, SKOR North. Yep. Sports-wise, I know we are a day away from the NFL season finally kicking off. Judd, we're a day out. I know that it's weeks or months ahead of us, but early on predictions, who do you got going into the NFC and AFC championship games?
Whoa.
Ooh, that's
right
a lot.
Oh,
boy, that's a lot to put on my table,
yeah,
on my plate here. Okay, I am going to go with Kansas City because the Chiefs are, until they get knocked off the pedestal, I'm not going to believe that they're not going to be in the AFC title game. The AFC is absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
Too. I'm going to just for fun, I'm going to go Bengals Chiefs in the AFC championship game because Joe Burrow is another guy who I think is just a super talent.
Sure.
The NFC, as Tevin can attest, is not as good as the AFC, so I think it's probably more wide open as far as like surprise teams. I'm gonna go in the NFC. I'm gonna go with who could be a surprise, perhaps. How about this? Dallas makes it back finally for the first time since 96.
Okay.
Dallas makes it back for the first time since 96. And they face San Francisco. So it's a 1990s feel.
Sure.
I can respect that.
I do think the Vikings have a chance to win another division title. Here's my thing with the Detroit Lions, because there's all this Lions like praise.
Yeah.
I'm 53. This franchise has sucked for almost my entire lifetime. I'm not buying the Lions hype until I actually see a year of oh my God, they've actually turned a corner. Because they got off to a terrible start last year. They rebounded when sort of the pressure was off and everybody got excited about it. So I'm not buying that the Lions are going to win the division until I actually see them win the division.
Yeah, it feels like a lot like there was a couple years ago when the Browns had a very strong finish to their season, and then the next year they're like, oh, they're going to figure it out and make this big run. It's you for a team that has struggled literally their entire existence, you got to get that monkey off your back before I'm gonna jump on board.
I think the last time they won a championship, and I'm not joking, was something like 10 years pre-Super Bowl. It's like 1957.
Sure.
That they won the NFL championship. So, but I do love, I mean, football, the National Football League, nobody does a better job of like marketing and monopolizing the entire calendar. And for what, the last 15, 20 years now, I love this Thursday night thing.
Sure.
Like they dominate the weekend, right? So they come out with the Super Bowl champion on Thursday night, and then you have a full slate of games on Sunday, and then you got Monday night. It's a genius way to basically, instead of just starting on Sunday and having Monday, it's a great way to essentially grab the entire weekend. And I saw Tevin's excitement, and I agree. Like tomorrow night, that's awesome.
I'm so excited.
Great it starts.
And like kind of switching to the Vikings a little bit, like going through, everybody plays the game where you go through the schedule and here's a win, here's a loss. Like there's nothing better than just that everybody has hope. It's all rainbows and duckies, and then living and dying on every single win. Like I love listening to like the post game fan call-ins, because you'll get like, you remember that play in the third quarter? Like he needs to be cut, he needs to be fired. Then the next week after Kirk Cousins wins the game, now he's MVP. That's me. I'm here for the emotional roller coaster, whether it's 12 wins or 1 win. I'm on board.
And it's absolutely the perfect season too, because it's 17 games. It's a build-up all week long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it in our society now, baseball is 162 games. Hockey and basketball play 82 apiece, right?
Yep.
Football's perfect because it allows the build-up. And to your point, it then allows that emotional roller coaster, like it's all week long, because it can take fans a couple days to recover from a win or a loss. And then you get to Wednesday and the buildup starts. It's the perfect season because it's 17 games, but it dominates in that time period. Like everything about football now, in my opinion, and how they market it and how it works, from like the combine, which is now the big thing in February, free agency in March, the draft in April, then off-season camps start. Really, the only dead time in this league now is July. Like most of July is dead. Other than that, despite the fact that they don't play a lot of actual games, no sport, in my opinion, ties up the calendar and creates more excitement than this sport. So the anticipation going into that Lions-Chiefs game tomorrow is just so damn high. And then to your point, once that's done, if you're a Vikings fan, it's like, okay, bring on Tampa Bay. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And even if you're a bad team, like the Cardinals are probably going to be the worst team in the NFL, but they still have excitement because, we're tanking for Caleb Williams next year. And so no matter if you're on the top end of the league fighting for the playoffs, or if you're in the middle, then you get to play the game of, we need this team to lose, we need to win. So yeah, there's always storylines no matter how good or bad your team is. It's awesome.
Yeah, and to get back to the marketing of it, there's people that I know that have no interest in sports whatsoever, but they've figured out a way to make it transcend. You got Travis Kelce, who is hosting Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
who
wants to date Taylor Swift.
When the NFL Network came out, I remember like friends of mine saying, how can they put out a whole TV network just dedicated to the NFL, especially what are they going to do in the summer? I said, well, they also made a network that is all about food. And it's very successful. So you don't think the NFL knows exactly what it's doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's genius. It's genius, and it works because people can never get enough. That's the thing. Like, you think about football fans, right? I think this sort of started as far as the light bulb going on, too, years and years and years ago with the Super Bowl. Because I don't think there's any sporting event that more non-sports fans watch.
Oh yeah,
and I think they realized, okay, we've hooked them. How can we try to hook them more But when you think about, and I mean, hell, this was going on probably when I was a kid, when I was young. But once we got through the 70s, I would say in the 80s for sure, you had Super Bowl parties, and now it's the commercials. Like it is just football, and this league in particular is such a great culture experiment.
Yeah, because they essentially you do the commercials because you're going to get the diehard football fans to watch regardless. But now if you're dragging your wives or husbands that aren't football fans, okay, we got the commercials to entertain them. We're going to put on an amazing halftime show. Maybe there's going to be a nip slip. Maybe there's not, but everybody's watching to find out. And so, yeah, they've kind of created this perfect social atmosphere where it doesn't matter if you're a football fan or not.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's remarkable. But so on the Vikings, Tevin, what are you thinking wins wise? Because I will say this: I don't think they're going to be bad, but I don't think that they're going to win 13 games. Again.
No, I feel like 10 games is probably about right. They we have the Bengals, Chargers, Eagles, Chiefs. I believe are on our schedule. Those all kind of feel like losses. The Lions, depending on how good they are, that's probably either a split or we might get swept if they live up to the hype. Packers, I would love to say we're going to sweep them, but it seems like we usually split with them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and it's one of those things, too, where we just don't know. Is Brian Flores and the defense going to take even just a half step forward? And then I think our offense is going to be just fine. But if we can't stop anybody, then it'll be a long season. And I'm almost more excited for the off season because I want to see what we're going to do with Kirk Cousins. Are we going to be able to get JJ signed to what his deal is going to look like? So.
Yeah, I think the Jefferson contract gets done this week.
This week? Okay.
So I think that gets done before the opener on Sunday. But you brought up a point that we've been talking about on Purple Daily quite a bit, which is I think the intrigue about this team right now is huge. Like there's so many questions. Your quarterback, and it's a competitive team, so it's not like it's going to be bad, but there are a lot of question marks, and because if you go just, for instance, starting on Sunday, can the offense be consistent? Because they had, Kirk tied a league record with 8 fourth-quarter comebacks, and I believe the Vikings had 11 one-score games last season. Well, you don't need to do that. Like, you have permission to basically step on a team's neck. And this offense, you've got now Jefferson, Addison, Osborne, Hawkinson. You should score points. If you look, this team was dormant offensively in the second and third quarters a lot in 2022. The defense, to your point about that, is I don't think it can be worse, and I think Donatel was a disaster. So Brian Flores, I'm not saying they're going to be perfect, but if they can even get to 20th, that's a huge improvement. So the question marks here to me are huge, but it's going to be fun. And then yes, the Kirk thing. It's really interesting that they're locking up players and they don't know who their quarterback is going to be. I find that to be really intriguing. And we haven't had, love Kirk or hate Kirk Cousins, we have not had quarterback questions in this market since 2008, 17 going into 18 with Keenum. But that was the last time. Kirk has always had security until now.
Yeah, no. Do you think that they'll lock? Are they waiting it out just to see? Because I wouldn't think he's put himself in a position where he has earned the right to not be just on this expiring contract. So do you think that that's a sign that we're not going to bring him back, or are they really just trying to figure out a number or what kind of is going on behind the scenes there?
I think they're honestly going to wait to see how he plays, and I also think that they are consciously right now locking up guys who are going into their second contracts, and Kirk just turned 35 last month. And so I also think that they are hoping that if Kirk has a good year, Kirk says, I've made a lot of cash from you guys. I have cashed a lot of big checks. I'll take less to stay here, because what's really weird about it is Kirk Cousins had security from 2018 through 2021 here, and I think that you could make a case his head coach hated him. And now he's got a head coach that clearly embraces him, and this is the first time he hasn't had that security. So I think they're hoping that Kirk Cousins, if he does have a good year, re-signs for 3 years, which would take him, I think, through age 38, going on 39. But he does it at a reasonable price. Because when we see that Jefferson contract, it's going to be eye-popping. Hawkinson just reset the tight end market. Christian Darrisaw is going to be eligible for an extension next offseason. And those are the guys. rightfully so. Those are the guys that they want to lock up. But the other question that we don't know is Kevin O'Connell going to try to identify a young quarterback on a rookie contract that he can mold? Because, like, that's his thing. He, unlike Zim, he loves this position. He wants to develop a QB. So that's like the unknown is Kevin O'Connell going to be prepared to move on? Because he flat out says, screw it, I was hired here to find a quarterback, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and he was a former NFL quarterback himself, so obviously it's a position that he's very familiar with, and that's kind of the formula most teams go with. Like, when Kansas City had Patrick Mahomes on his rookie deal before he got all that money and stuff like that. And this is a deep year for quarterbacks coming out from college, so it'll be interesting to see what we do.
So wait a minute, Judd. Are you saying that when somebody has a boss who likes them, they perform better? That is insanity. Why would you say something like that? Listen, I think you're on your crazy pills this morning, Judd. I don't think. Listen, being in this business, we know the only way to get performance out of people is by telling them they suck. Yeah. Exactly.
Fear-based management.
Yes, fear-based management. Exactly.
Are you saying crack the whip? Are you saying that works?
Absolutely, it does. Yes.
Brittany
Put the fear of the Lord in?
Yes.
I did yell at Tevin this morning,
She
but
did,
in my
Yeah.
defense,
But the show's been great since then.
Yeah.
So
it has been a great show.
Why'd you yell at Tevin?
Judd, you weren't here.
You'll have to listen to
Judd-
the first half of the show because it was.
Oh,
it
okay,
was
you
brutal.
talked about it.
No.
Well,
I was
mean,
going to
you said
say,
it like
I
that.
want to go into it, Judd. He shows up, and he straight up told me, I'm an ugly bitch. That was what he came in with saying. By not putting articles on the shared doc, he said, I don't respect you as a person. That's what you said to me.
Judd, in this industry, you've been in the radio business for a while. There's some people that they got to over prepare for the show, and there's some people that they can just show up and turn that switch on and go, and that's me, Judd.
Just a great smile, good look.
See?
Just get away with it, Tevin. Is that what you're telling me?
But he's the host, remember. He's the host.
Technically,
You know what?
yes.
I feel like your interpretation of what he meant is a right only reserved for you with your spouse.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's fair to put that upon, unless he says it. I don't think it's fair.
Oh, no, he said it. He actually sent it to me in many texts.
Oh, no, I would never put that in writing because I'll come back to haunt me.
But he's not dumb.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I also, I want to say it again. Did I yell at him? Or is Tevin really sensitive? We're still trying to make that decision.
Well, what you're yelling, like, I'd like to hear you.
We can't repeat it for radio.
No, here's
Racial
the thing, Judd.
slurs were involved.
I actually rarely ever yell, but so many men in my life have informed me I'm yelling. So.
It seems like a lot of victim blaming coming from you today.
Yeah. You know what? When in doubt, it's the male's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we
Always the
agree on
male's
something.
fault. We are just lightning rods now.
Oh.
It's unbelievable.
Wow,
It is very tough being a male.
It
Must
is
be.
hard.
Oh,
It is
I can't, look at you smile. I cannot.
We don't get to go into shared workspaces unless we're a woman or LGBTQ. We have it so hard for white men now.
The owner of the Coven said that actually you can go to the Coven, which blew my mind. I'm pretty sure it's just specific designed for women and LGBTQ plus.
Specifically men who like other men. If you are a man who likes a man, you can go to the Coven, right?
I don't know. I don't have
no
a
idea
membership at the Coven.
What is the Coven?
Oh.
It's like we work
okay.
here for Minneapolis. It's a really cool building.
Yeah, we talked. I don't know if Judd was on with us when we chatted about this, but we chatted about there's a place called the Coven that specifically is for women and LGBTQ, and then we had the woman on because she knows Brittany, and then Tom got angry at her.
It went well.
It went as good as you could expect.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that does not seem like a good guess with Tom. For Tom, but I mean, that's just me.
And also,
you know what? I will say this. For all that the male, especially the white male, feels like oppressed now. Here's the one thing that doesn't get talked about enough that men across the board get now: maternity leave.
My brother hasn't got paternity leave.
I know, but that's my point. There's a long time where Dad was expected back at work the next day. My old man was at home asleep when I was born, and my mom had to call him up on the phone and say, "It's a boy." What I'm saying is that, you now get time, you get substantial time off, right?
And as I'll tell you the biggest dynamic change. I know you have to go. Judd, but I'll say this for sure, because I got made fun of at my talk because none of the women had husbands with paternity leave. It changed my dynamic, or our dynamic in general, because I got to leave. We split ours. I did maternity leave and Justin did paternity leave. So he had to have one-on-one with the baby, which doesn't always happen because they don't always get paternity leave, which changed our dynamic forever. So, like, even though it was a great gift for him, it was also a huge gift for me to be like, this is what happens when you're alone with the baby, which not every dad gets because the paternity leave doesn't exist in a lot of companies. So, like, it's crazy. Like, I can't imagine not having that experience.
Mm-hmm. It does here, right? At our company?
Sure. I think we have paternity leave.
I don't know. I know when I was at.
I thought we did.
When I was with ABC, we did not have it. So the night my daughter was born at 5:35 p.m. We stayed the night at the hospital, but I had to be back to work that following afternoon and did the afternoon show. Yeah.
I feel like even if you didn't have paternity leave through your company, like as a human being, you'd be like, no, take like a couple weeks off from however much time you need.
His paternity leave was the best thing that's probably happened to me ever, like having that base at home.
Well, they gave me paternity leave. I just chose to go to the work the next day. I was like, listen, I think we're good now, right? This kid, she's already walking and talking.
That kid's
we're
going to
good,
poop, right? I'm out of here.
I'm
I'll
good,
see you. I
yeah.
got to go to work. Bye, honey.
You have a show the next day. He just hung out.
Speaking of leaving the infant babies, Judd, thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You're the best, man.
You are the best.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See you, Judd.
If the
Be
bitch
nice to each
fell
other.
off, if you can see
Don't
my
fight.
T-shirt.
Judd fell off the show.
Judd is gone. That might be my favorite idea we had, is to make that elaborate T-shirt. Why don't we go to break now, and then we'll get to Allie early.
We can do that if you want.
Yeah, let's go to break, and we'll be back with Allie live from Chicago.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about my slippers, the Giza sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news! The MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price $79.98. And for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit BialkeLaw.com. That's BIALKE Law.com.
This is Tom Barnard for Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965, and their name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors, but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. True story. The very best brands live at Niemeyer's. Like the latest from Rockwood by Forest River, #1 in their class, whether you want a tent trailer, expandable, travel trailer, or a fifth wheel, Niemeyer Trailer Sales has it all. Plus, they deliver on the forgotten art of customer service with personable employees, often sons and daughters of the third-generation family-owned business who simply do what they say they will do every time. Come explore their huge selection and consult with RV service pros. You will leave satisfied no matter what you are looking for. The Niemeyer family welcomes you to visit both of their locations in Albertville and Elko New Market before your next vacation. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sale.
It's 9:45, the Tom Barnard Show. Tom will be back on Monday after vacation. If you can read this, the bitch fell off and ended up on our StreamYard. Hello, Allie Matta, all the way from Chicago, Illinois.
Allie, we're investing in some T-shirts. Would you like to get on the ground floor of this investment?
What kind of T-shirt?
Well, you're going to be joining also a electric bike / motorcycle gang.
Yeah, there's a lot going into this, and you need to be committed to us, which honestly, I feel like is a pretty easy ask right now.
What's the buy-in?
I will look into that.
Hey, blood in, blood out, okay?
Blood in, blood out.
You can be the president of the Chicago chapter of our tandem bicycle gang.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's fun.
Do you
I like
remember
that.
when we rented tandem bikes and how magical that afternoon was?
Oh, you guys, I had to let Brittany be the leader, obviously, on that bike. Can you imagine Brittany being in back of me, trying to tell me what to do? Yeah.
It was
Brittany was definitely leading the way, and I was just in the back going, this is great. This is great.
I love this.
tandem.
And if I would have had a shirt that says, if you can read this shirt, my best friend is currently lost in Minneapolis. Here is my phone number. Please contact me.
Her family's been looking for her for weeks now.
She's allergic to peanuts. So yeah.
No, I was listening to you guys a few minutes ago. You were talking just about like paternity leave and stuff, and like the differences between men and women. And that reminded me of Rudy. You had something recently, like at a show that you posted on your Instagram. And you guys, I don't know if you saw this, Brittany and Tevin, but Rudy goes, "I think that women should be paid as much as men," and the crowd was just like quiet.
That's so funny.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That was in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yes.
And I said, listen, here's the deal. If you are a woman or you are LGBTQ, you deserve the same pay, benefits, and rights as everybody else. Crickets.
Wisconsin's not the most.
And I went, Appleton feels different. Everyone started laughing, like a huge applause break. Yeah, I've never had, it was deathly silent in there.
Yeah,
That's
you think there'd
really
be someone
funny.
going like, yeah, like equal rights for people, and everyone's just like, I don't know, I don't know anybody.
Honestly, depends on the person.
Yeah, it's funny though, because I tried to joke the other night too that after we had our conversation about the coven, I was talking about how white men in Minneapolis are so angry that there's a shared workspace for only women and LGBTQ. And listen, white guys, women and LGBTQ should be able to start their own businesses. And everybody started clapping. And then I said, and when those shitty businesses fail, we white men will buy them up and make them profitable.
From the ashes, we will rise.
Like a phoenix.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that is funny.
So anyway, what's going on in Chicago, Allie?
Well, I was at the Cubs game last night. They
Nice.
won against the Giants. That was cool. My boyfriend's friend has like really insane tickets, and we sat in the 5th row. So you can see like if a player has a wedgie, you know, it's awesome.
Sitting that close to professional baseball, you'll start going, wow, they really do throw those fast. Like you go, because it's such a cartoon. It's not real on TV. And then I've sat right up there, and you go, holy cripes. Like the things they're doing so casually are amazing.
But I saw something that I've never seen before, and I don't know if I'm just like an idiot, but
maybe
can't rule it out.
I'm the same girl.
Exactly. Thank you, Tevin. So the pitcher did submarine style.
Oh, that is super weird to see. Yeah, where it's like it's not underhand, but it's like a
submarine style.
Yeah, like so they don't throw overhand. They like do like a woo and go like a U shape underneath.
So it's like it's like softball.
It's a sidearm, but it's a little bit lower than a sidearm. Yeah.
And it looks like if I did it, I would tear every ligament in my elbow and shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, and the ball slowly rises up.
Did he keep doing it that way, or is it just like a one-off?
That's how he does it.
Yeah.
All the time, 100% of the time. I've never seen it before, and my boyfriend was like, "Yeah, there's probably like 1 in 100 pitchers that can do it."
Yeah, and it's because it's like the overall concept of it is because it's a different release point, so it's harder for the batter to see, and then it like will rise rather than fall. It's I don't know how it works, but
Wow. And did he pitch well? Did it like the batter? Did it trick the batter often?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, Brittany. I was
Did
just
it
like
trick
looking
the
around.
batter?
I'm sure there's another way of saying that, but did he get tricked?
Yeah, they definitely like got tricked by this dude, so that was cool. But I've never seen that before. It was very
I've
awesome.
never even heard of that. And like I'm around a lot of sports talk, and I think that would stick out in my mind. Submarine
style.
That sounds like a sex move that I probably wouldn't like.
But I did prepare a couple
door
stories
open.
for you guys today, so you guys get to pick up what you want to hear. Do you want to hear about the bear that drank White Claw or the German Shepherd that took himself to Metallica?
German Shepherd.
Okay.
I vote German Shepherd.
I'll vote Tevin because I've yelled at him a lot today.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Oh no! Yeah, what happened?
Tevin is not a professional, and he
She's
got hired
mad.
as a professional.
Yeah, well, the show went great. That's all that matters. If you look at the results, it doesn't matter how we got there.
Okay.
He's not wrong.
So a couple days ago, Metallica was performing at SoFi in Los Angeles. Is that how you say it? SoFi.
Yeah.
SoFi. Yeah.
Yeah, SoFi. And there was a German Shepherd named Storm. He ran away from his home that day. Somehow got into the stadium. I'm only assuming because he's a German Shepherd and people are like, oh, a cop dog.
Oh, it must be sniffing bombs. I hope he doesn't sit next to anywhere I am.
Yeah, so he just kind of like waltzed in through security, sat himself down in someone's assigned seat, and literally watched Metallica perform.
Yeah.
And people were like taking pictures and posting it on Instagram, and that's how the family found their lost dog because it was viral on Instagram.
Nice.
Did they check if it's a man in a dog suit?
No, it's like it is a dog.
Well,
Okay, good.
They knew it was their dog because it was wearing a shirt that said, if the bitch fell off.
If the leash is dragging.
If you can read this collar,
Yeah.
the bitch fell off. Oh my God, he's sitting in a real chair. He thinks he's a
like
person.
sitting up straight, just enjoying Master of Puppets.
This dog loves Metallica.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell him my
Yeah.
feeling on Metallica.
My dog's more of a Slayer fan, but he still
Yeah,
likes
that's
Metallica.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Paul would not make the walk.
Oh, no.
Paul would be like, I got it on Spotify. I'm fine.
Just like every other Slayer fan. Can't walk.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, great. Now our Slayer demo is just pissed off.
Yeah.
And there everybody goes.
No, I remember the last time I went to Slayer, it was at the Armory, I think, and I had to go to the bathroom and I was in the front, so I turned around. P.S. I'm like the only girl there.
Sure.
And every
Yeah.
dude is like wearing black and dragging their knuckles. Okay.
Mhm.
And I turn around and it's like this 6-foot dude, and I'm trying to get through, and he just like picks his nose.
Yeah.
As I'm walking towards him, and then he just eats it. It's like a giant.
Yeah.
And, then, and I was like, "That's a Slayer fan."
So wait, you were telling me that you were the only girl in the crowd? That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you were swimming indeed. You could have had anyone.
Swimming in
God.
tea.
Couldn't throw a
Yeah.
phone without hitting a man.
I know. I could have found a husband that night.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, like 2006, I had nothing going on, and I drove to St. Louis on Halloween night to go see Slayer at the pageant. Because I thought, when else am I going to see Slayer on a Halloween, right? And they were playing with one of my favorite bands. So I went down there and I was by myself and I sat at the bar, and the band came on, the band I came there to see. And as soon as they got done, I looked around and I thought, I have nothing in common with any of these people. Like, I am so far removed from this. And even though I grew up as a metalhead and grew up as a kid who loved punk music and rock music and metal, I sat down and thought, there's nothing left in my body anymore that wants to hang out with any of these people. I just want to be at home, kicking it with my kid, laying on the floor. And now I have to drive all the way back, home from St. Louis. Worth the trip to say I saw it on Halloween. It was a blast.
Yeah.
But after that, I just thought, you know what?
You've hit a milestone in your life.
Yep, there's a reason why Burning Man is usually only filled with people that are under the age of 50. Because at that point, you just got nothing left in the tank.
I remember.
So,
oh, yeah. Sorry, Allie.
Was the band Insane Clown Posse, Rudy, that you wanted to see?
Obviously,
I was
you know it was.
Just going to say, A story about Insane Clown Posse.
No
here
way.
That's so funny, Allie.
Speaking of fans too fat
you're
to
gonna talk
walk.
about the first half?
Yes, when Mike sent us the photo of the drink is called
Faygo.
Yeah.
And my ex was at the show, and he said it was insane. So the whole couple days leading up to it, in the parking lot, these Insane Clown Posses had these like crazy little car things they kept driving around the enclosed parking lot. And then
I just see like Shriner cars.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so he sent me these photos. He's like, "This is crazy here this week," and he's like,
What are their fans called?
Juggalos.
Juggalos, yeah.
Juggettes.
Don't act like you don't know.
Don't act like you haven't woken up with a juggalo on your arm.
Yeah, that's right.
So that night, he was like, I got to go to this show. There's this thing they do where they spray this. It's like orange and grape Faygo. It's kind of like Fanta, but it's a specific brand. They spray it everywhere. And like first I've had to like get ready for this because they were concerned with how many liquids, whatever these fans bring, and they were like, try to, keep it at a minimal. He showed me the photos after. It was like a child swimming pool on the main floor of this sticky. And he said people were walking around. It was just because it was just,
and they had to put up like trash bags over the speakers so they wouldn't get wrecked.
There was at a certain point they had like to start making sure everything was waterproof because the amount of Faygo they spray. And I just remember being like, because he stayed to watch that, and I remember being like, this is my nightmare, is having to be there during that. Like the pictures were enough. He even was, do you want to come at the tail end and take pictures or take videos? No. Like that's when I realized I'm old.
I do not.
Like I do not. Like that's, I would have, no. I don't want it in my hair, on my face. I don't want it on my clothes. I don't want to like the next day put on my shoes and act like I went to every movie theater floor ever.
Right. It's just like the pictures are just like everybody spraying soda everywhere, and then it's just you casually drinking yours in the back.
Yeah.
Is this diet?
I know you guys are going to hate me for saying this, but there is a photo that lives on the internet of a couple, boy, girl, probably 25 years old, at their son's funeral. Son has Insane Clown Posse casket, both of them in Insane Clown Posse shirts, he in face paint at their son's funeral. And all I could think of when I watched that photo was, that kid dodged a bullet. Oh, that kid listen, I know you're 6 feet under, but you're much better off than where you would end up, kid.
Okay, that's funny,
Can you imagine sending that kid to the first day of kindergarten in his ICP trousers with a mohawk? Like, no one wants that kid. Trust me, you're in a better place, son.
He just bothers the teacher with stupid questions like, how do magnets work?
But seriously, how do they work? Like
no one knows.
Nobody actually knows.
That song, I've never laughed so hard at the song Miracles that they have, and because it's just so dumb. It's like pyramids, rivers, fish. What's up with that? Like SNL tried to do like a skit like making fun of that song, and it didn't work because the original is so good and stupid. You can't even top it.
It's like a Seinfeld joke set to music. Like, what's up with magnets?
What's up with magnets?
These people who go down to a river. What's up with these people?
Fish, am I right?
Am I right? My God.
I know, Rudy, you really got to take your comedy to a what's up with magnets kind of feel. You really got to get there.
Yeah, the LGBTQ women should be paid more bits. Not landing anymore. Just walk out and be like, hey, you guys, what's up with driveways? People park their cars in it? Who are those people?
But parkways we drive in? What's going on? I do have to say there's nothing that'll like...
It was a joke, wasn't it? That was a real
at
joke.
some point, yeah.
Wow.
You do have to stop and kind of go, if somebody did make you describe how magnets work, we would all fail. Like, let's not pretend like I could describe exactly what's going on with magnets. Kind of like when I have to like really think about the idea of time traveling, and if I went back in time before cars and they were like, hey, how does a car work? I'd go, I actually don't know. Yeah. Like, I really...
You're like, I know there's oil.
I go, don't you guys, like, do you have gas? Let's start with that. Like...
How backwoods are we right now? Like, where do I have to start my explanation for this?
But I don't think I could talk, like, things that haven't been invented, if I went back in time, I don't think I could have them made because I'm dumb about everything. No?
No.
But most people are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like, What are
Are you
magnets?
trying to say you're special?
No, I'm just saying that, like, maybe in SoundCloud, maybe I am a juggalo, because what are magnets?
What are engines?
Like, really, at the end of the day, what is internet? You know?
No one knows.
Allie, did you go to the new nude beach over in Chicago?
Oh, I read a story that was fake.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and put your boobs back in your shirt, ma'am.
But oh, dang it. Well, actually, did you know that there is a beach? It's like where the LGBTQ community hangs out, and we call it the gay beach. It's Hollywood Beach here.
Yeah.
And people do get pretty naked there.
Pretty naked?
So, I mean,
How
it's
naked?
not. It's kind of like a small lake in Minnesota.
But it's not that small.
Because-
They're cold.
No, but listen, this is my point. A smaller lake than Minnetonka, it's not patrolled. So people are drinking, right? So like a smaller beach, it's not patrolled. So people be getting naked.
Allie, do you remember by our house hidden beach that we would go to? And they'd be playing like calypso music or they say, anyways. And
Cedar Lake. You guys have been to Cedar Lake, right?
Yeah.
The beach there?
And it's not hidden at all. There's actually a road that goes right to it. And at some point, the police started patrolling it, but people still loved playing their crappy music and like tempting fate. And then every now and again, a police officer, you'd see like a fully nude guy, and then a police officer just casually walk next to him, and you're like, this is not what you think it. This is not that hidden. Like, it's time.
A lady threatened me with a bottle there once, like a broken bottle, because Reggie was off of his leash.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I remember
she
that.
was drunk. She was drunk, and she like had a bottle, like a broken bottle. She's like, "You get out of here with your dog. You're crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm crazy.
I'm the insane one.
My dog's off his leash, and he's well trained."
I still remember I just would pray if they had a broken bottle, put it towards my head because the music they played there was so bad and so loud. And I always
Like
would
Burning?
yeah, it was bad.
Like Burning Man.
Exactly. Well, Allie, another amazing report, 10 out of 10. Thank God you were here to make up for the Tevin disaster.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
you
first of all, guys.
stop. Tevin's a little angel. You stop, Bertie. You be nice to
Yeah,
him.
see.
Why? Because he's wearing
Thank
a
you.
fuzzy sweater and he looks like a Teddy
I look
Tevin.
comfortable.
Teddy Tevin.
All right, well, that's it for the Tom Barnard Morning Show podcast. Allie will be back tomorrow. Sounds good. All right, bye.
We'll definitely not be back tomorrow.